Before the video starts, check out my official Discord with the links in the description down below or on the screen right here for mobile users. We are a fast growing community with over 140 members and growing fast with active people within. If you want to join and speak to new people about the anime we all love, or speak to me personally and get custom perks and more, then check out the Major Dragon Discord and join our growing community within the Dragon Force. Now let's get on with the video. The Dragon Balls, mystical orbs that can grant a user any wish. This has been a staple since the original start of Dragon Ball, and carrying on to even the current sagas of even Dragon Ball Daima to Super. The Dragon Balls have played a big part in the show, with resurrecting people and unlocking a user's potential. Well, in Dragon Ball GT, which I know is non-canon, but it's a what if, Goku fused with the Dragon Balls at the very end of the show. This did grant Goku immortality, it also gave him a massive power boost, and things that we don't really know about since, of course, this was the end of GT, and we only saw a small short of Goku coming out of 100 years after Goku has disappeared, and it was when Pan was much older, and it was the later on generations of Goku's descendant, being Goku Junior and Vegeta Junior. We saw Goku was there. Well, what if the Dragon Balls fused with Goku way earlier? I'm talking during the Pilaf arc, all the way back in Dragon Ball. What if they fused with Goku, and what powers and abilities would he gain from this? Well, hold on tight, because it's going to get really crazy really fast. And I also wanted to make the Dragon Balls more unique. The Dragon Balls here in the original Dragon Ball, the Dragon's not that crazy powerful. True, he can grant you mortality, grant you bring back to life, as long as you don't die of natural causes. But even Demon King Piccolo actually killed Shenron. When he got his wish, he then blasted Shenron away easily. So, yeah, Shenron's not insanely powerful, but I decided to add some cool unique tricks because of the magic that Shenron has to really make Goku stand out in this what if and make him very powerful, but make it as realistic as possible. And as well, also make a certain form that'll appear very early on, but make it actually make sense with how they were kind of given the power. But we'll get to this in a minute. Well, Goku and his friends were still captured by Emperor Pilaf. Now, in the original, Emperor Pilaf, after capturing them, he then made his wish, or did he try to? Originally, Oolong then blurted out the wish as Pilaf was trying to think about what to say, and Oolong wished for girls' underwear, and the Dragon Balls were sent off. That was then later on that night, Goku turned into a great ape and he was destroying everything. Well, Pilaf does not make his wish initially like he did. They decided to wait until later on to then make the wish. So that was the biggest decision that'll change the whole show. Well, the Dragon Balls will begin glowing on their own, as the Dragon Balls appear to be searching for Goku to fuse with him. Now, this could also mean because of Kami's old age, that Kami's searching for its successor, and this is the reason why the Dragon Balls are searching for somebody, but not even Kami knows what's happening. The Dragon Balls are acting strange, you can feel it. It's almost like they're searching for something. Well, Goku would have still transformed into a great ape. And Goku would have then trashed and destroyed everything in his way. Then the Dragon Balls would then levitate, as Pilaf was about to make his wish, calling for it to Shenron, but it didn't work. The Dragon Balls just levitated. Then, while Goku was rampaging around, the Dragon Balls would then fuse into Goku's body. His arms, his legs, his chest, as then Goku calmed down. The great ape, he was fully calm, but he was still in his primitive state. The Dragon Balls would then begin glowing with power, as Goku, in his own mind, was shrouded by rage and anger because of the great ape, but he can hear Shenron's voice telling him to let my magic soothe you and calm you, and let us control this power that you have. So Shenron would then mix the magic of the Dragon Balls with the great ape state, and Goku would then calm down. When the dust settled, people were shocked to see Goku in his kid state, but he looked different. Goku was in his Super Saiyan 4 state. Everybody was shocked to see this, as what just happened? Did Goku fuse with the Dragon Balls? Goku would then look at his large hands, and he was surprised to see what this power was, but the power was beyond anything he's ever felt before. We don't know the actual multiplier for Super Saiyan 4. Some people have speculated that it's around 10 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3, which would mean it's a 4,000 multiplier boost. And another thing as well, when Goku fused with the Dragon Balls, that's 7 Dragon Balls, so because his power level initially during the Pilaf arc was roughly around 50, So if he got around, 7 times stronger with the Dragon Balls, we're going to say that his power level is roughly around 350 to around 400. So his power level is around 350. If he times that by 4,000, it's 1.4 million, which shows how strong he is as a Super Saiyan 4. Well, Goku was in awe of his strength. He would have easily, defeated the Pilaf gang with just a flick of his finger, sending them away. But then, Goku would then revert back to normal. And he had no clue what that power was. His friends were confused as well, but they didn't know. Goku would actually, in the next coming days, he would actually try to use that power again, but he can't. So you see, Goku does have Super Saiyan 4 now. He stepped a lot of transformations, but he can't access it. Because, number one, he can't control his energy that good, and Goku's body is not ready to handle that much power. The dragon just gave him a helping hand. But Goku will unlock his power later on with the help of Shenron. Well, Goku is now fused with the Dragon Balls. Goku is technically immortal, but he will still grow into his adult body, so he'll be in his prime, but past that, he won't age anymore. He's immortal. Now, what else does he get? Well, if you fuse with Shenron, he also has the power to grant one wish per year, like the original Shenron. Now, he can learn how to grow this magic to where the Dragon Balls can become even more powerful alongside of him, to where he can grant 2 to even 3 wishes if he wants to. Now, he can summon and make these wishes on his own. His eyes would just turn red. They'll just glow red, and then the wish is made. So the Dragon Balls will not just come out of his body, and then he's ready to go. So yeah, Goku is very powerful. As a kid, his power level is 350, which is already nearly 100 power level higher than Demon King Piccolo. Yeah, they got absurdly powerful, so Goku's ridiculous. Well, since that's the case, Goku wouldn't really realize it yet, but he would still continue doing his thing, as, of course, after the Pilaf gang was now defeated, this is when Goku would then become Master Roshi's students alongside Krillin after finding Launch. Goku here would still continue his training. Roshi would just increase the weights of other things for Goku to really push him and make him as powerful as possible. They would then spend the next 7 months of training. Now, Goku originally, when he trained, it was roughly around 120 to 150. So even if Goku got 1.2 times stronger, it'll just buff his power level up from about 350 to 450, which is already making him really powerful. He's already stronger than Goku and Piccolo was in the original. So yeah, Goku's very powerful. So when he does go into the 24 Soul Martial Arts tournament, he easily blitzes through everybody. No one has a chance of beating him. Goku's way too powerful. Even when Master Roshi, who's under the alias of Jackie Chun, this time around, Goku's gonna win. Even though Roshi does have more technique and skills than Goku, Goku's raw power alone is way too high. Now there's one difference here. When Goku actually looks at the moon, he doesn't turn into a great ape. But how's this possible? It's because Shenron is preventing it, because he knows that if Goku turns to a great ape, he's going to destroy everything. So yes, Goku would still keep his tail, that would all go the same, and Roshi would not have to destroy the moon. So Kami would never have the thought of removing Goku's tail. And even if Goku didn't have his tail, if you go Super Saiyan 4, you would still just unlock it and get the tail anyway. But Goku would have won, and he would have spent all the funds on food that night when he eats everything. This is also when the Red Ribbon Army would then begin their battle and search for the Dragon Balls. But since Goku is so much stronger than he originally is, he would be able to gather the Dragon Balls much faster. Oh, another thing as well, Goku does not need the Flying Nimbus anymore, because Goku can fly. So yeah, unfortunately, Goku would catch up to the Red Ribbon Army real quick when it comes to finding the Dragon Balls, and none of them could beat him. He would take down the Muscle Towers with ease, and with the help of the Dragon Radar, Goku would have easily defeated General Blue. Goku would have also sensed Korin's tower, and he would begin training under Korin. Originally trained just to drink the sacred water, but Korin tricked him. He quote-unquote got the sacred water. It was actually just tap water. But I think since Goku's so strong, and I think Korin can sense just how powerful Goku is, I think he would actually give him the real sacred water. Goku originally went from 180 to about 260. So he got around 1.4 times stronger because of the Ultra Divine Water. So if that was the case, his power level would be 725 to roughly 750, which is ridiculous. Way more powerful than even Goku and Piccolo was. And now he's starting to get into the realms of reaching up towards Raditz soon. Well, since he's so much stronger, doesn't really matter, he would have annihilated the Red Ribbon Army. But yes, Dr. Gero is still alive. Well, this is when Goku would then continue on his training, fly over to the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament to then go fight Tien. As Goku here has had 3 years to train, and he's only kept on getting stronger. Well, during those 3 years, in my opinion, I think that Kami would then reach out to Goku, and Goku would then head back to Korn and meet Kami. And Goku would then meet Kami for the first time, and Kami would help Goku learn how to harness the power of the dragon, meaning that the Dragon Balls are now tied to Goku. So when Goku dies, while he's dead, the Dragon Balls are useless. So he can't just wish himself back to life, as he's already dead. Now, if that's the case, Goku's power level, in my opinion, would be well over 1,000. He'd probably be like 1,000, at least 1,200, training with Kami for the past 3 years, getting stronger. Now, when he does show up to fight Tien, Goku's way too powerful. Tien would get blitzed easily in one shot out of the ring. Krillin would still be killed by Tambourine, and Demon King Piccolo would still appear. Now, Demon King Piccolo, originally he's looking for the Dragon Balls, and Demon King Piccolo would find out that the Dragon Balls have chosen Goku and now they're with him. Well, that's not going to work out very well. Goku would one-shot Demon King Piccolo right through the stomach, and Demon King Piccolo would still spit out an egg, thus having Piccolo Junior. Goku would then use the Dragon Balls for the first time, aka the magic. His eyes would then glow red, as he would then revive Krillin, bringing him back to life. And then his eyes would then return to normal, and Krillin was brought back, and everybody was happy. Goku would then go back up to Kami to continue his training. Well, Goku originally, when he trained for 3 more years with Kami, he had a power level of around 334 from a power level of 260. So he got around like 1.2 to 1.3 times stronger. And if that was the case, if you also throw in the fact that he stayed for a couple more months inside 10 times gravity, his power level without the 10 times gravity would be 1,500. Now, if you throw in the fact that he stayed in there for a couple more months, so he was only in there for 1 month originally. So imagine he stayed in there for 2 to 3 more months. That would mean, at minimum, his power level would be 1,800. So Goku already is stronger than Raditz at a power level of 1,800. Well, when he does show up for the 20th World Martial Arts Tournament, he easily blisters everybody. He would still meet Chi-Chi just like before. Now, Goku does have more knowledge when it comes to, Shenron. Of course, we all know this, as he can just think about things. So when he can think about, oh, well, what about this guy in history? He can instantly see it. If someone asks him, well, what's a Super Saiyan God? Then he will see the images and stuff pop up. That's how in my opinion, how Shenron's intelligence works, is you have to ask him first. So Goku would probably ask about his tail and the Super Saiyan 4 state during that time, and probably in his own head, he would probably see visions of the Saiyans and what they are. So he does have knowledge of the Saiyans, if you will. So that's what Goku calls it. He knows that he's a Saiyan. He knows his heritage. He knows everything about it. So yeah, so Goku knows that the Saiyans were destroyed. Goku would have still met Chi-Chi, and he still would have married her, as it wouldn't make too much sense for him to get with Bulma. He still met Chi-Chi just like before, and they would have still... Goku's not the smartest guy ever, so he still would have probably been tricked into marriage. Goku would then also fight Tien, easily defeat him in their match. Even though Tien would then use more of his abilities, such as making clones of himself, Goku would have still defeated him. Now, what about Piccolo Junior? Well, Piccolo has gotten much stronger since he's continuing his training, and Goku's so much more powerful, he has pushed himself. Piccolo's power is about 500, which shows you how strong he actually is. Way stronger, around 200 more than he originally was. Goku was impressed with how strong Piccolo was. He's almost double the strength of his father, but Goku would have easily defeated him. Even though Piccolo would have gone giant, it wouldn't have mattered. Goku would have easily defeated Piccolo, and the match would have been game over. Piccolo would have lost, and yeah, Goku's the winner. Well, since Goku won, he would still spare Piccolo, as Piccolo and Kami, while they are not connected to Dragon Balls anymore, they're still bound to one another. So if Piccolo dies, then Kami will die as well. And Goku doesn't want Kami to die, so Goku decides to just let Piccolo go. There would have been 5 years apiece. Goku didn't really do that much training, but I think he would get around 200 stronger, so his power level will be dead set at around 2,000. Now, Piccolo is training harder than ever to try and catch up to Goku, pushing himself beyond his limits. Now, when Raditz does appear, just like before, to go look for his brother, Goku was still with Gohan, and yes, Gohan will be the exact same as he originally is. No, he's not going to have like magical powers or anything like that. No, that's just ridiculous. Well, Gohan, you could say Gohan might be a little bit stronger because Goku's stronger, but that's not going to work. So Gohan's already busted as is. Well, Goku would have shown Gohan and everybody else, as Gohan would say he's 4.5. Everything would have gone the same, as now Piccolo had secretly followed Raditz, as Raditz would then arrive. Goku immediately knew who Raditz was because he has asked Shenron, is there any other family other than me? Which he does state that there is a Saiyan named Raditz. Some people might ask, why didn't Goku just wish Raditz to him? Well, it's because Goku didn't want to, because that would be a useless wish. The wish that he needs to do is extremely big, like population, death, or something like that, is what Kami urged him to only use the Dragon Balls for, so he's going to use them responsibly. He's not just going to use them for a dumb reason. Well, Raditz was still arrived, and Goku immediately knew who he was. Raditz wasn't as angry because he saw how Goku's tail wasn't there, but he was still mad at the fact that Goku has not done his mission. Well, Goku's not going to take that as respect, as Raditz would then threaten Goku, telling him that there needs to be 100 bodies on this island, or I'm going to take your son. Well, when Raditz tries to take Goku's son, Goku would instantly appear in front of Raditz and deliver a powerful elbow to him, knocking him back. Now, this would crack Raditz's armor, and Raditz would then stumble backwards, and Raditz would say, so it's going to be like that, isn't it? Very well. So Raditz and Goku would then go have their match. Now, Raditz has a power level of roughly around 1,200. Some people said 1,500, but it's 1,200. Maybe you say that with like a rage boost, maybe 1,500, but 1,200. Well, Goku's at 2,000, so he's 800 power level stronger. And as you know, in terms of Dragon Ball scaling currently, if your power level is 1,000 higher, you can kind of just like toss them around a little bit, and they can't really do that much against you. Well, Raditz would start fighting Goku, and he would then scan his power level, and he would be shocked to see that Goku's power level is over 2,000, which that does get Vegeta and Nappa's attention, that Goku's stronger than Raditz. That's a little interesting. And yeah, Goku would overpower Raditz and defeat him in their matchup. Well, Goku will kill him. Well, Goku gives him a chance. He tells Raditz to get out of here and don't come back. So Raditz would do just that, and once when he does it right back to Vegeta and Nappa are not impressed that he lost. They are intrigued though. His power level is stronger than Raditz for sure, and he was only raised on Earth. That's impressive. So they could maybe use him, as Raditz has been basically outclassed. Raditz would have been killed. It would have been Nappa or probably Vegeta would have shook Raditz's hand and then threw him in the air and killed him. They would have then gone to Earth to see what's going on. Now, the next day, Goku would then have visions of Vegeta and Nappa heading to Earth, as from what he can tell in the visions, he can just feel their power, and he knows that they are absurdly strong. Well, he would then go up to Kami and ask him for some advice of, who can I go to help train me? Kami would then state, well, there is a master I know of. Try to search through your thoughts of King Kai. Goku would do so, and the dragon would give knowledge of the Kais, which would surprise Goku, and who King Kai was, and it was down Snake Way. Well, Kami can teleport Goku to King Yama, who's not very happy to see that there's a mortal here, and Goku would then trick King Yama, explaining, well, if I don't, Vegeta and Nappa will arrive, and they're going to kill over 8 billion people. And King Yama does not want to do that paperwork, so he allows him to run down Snake Way. Also, since the fact that Goku was much faster, he would then fly down to King Kai's world at much faster speeds. And the fact that he's flying is the biggest thing too. There's no twists and turns that he needs to run around to make it longer. He just flies straight towards the planet. Well, originally, it took Goku a long time to reach King Kai, as you guys remember. As, of course, Goku would have to run all the way there. And now, originally, what about Krillin, Chaozu, Yamcha, Tien, and Yajirobe? They would all still train at Kami's Lookout, as that would still pretty much go the exact same. So it took Goku a few months to actually arrive. It originally took Goku about 6 months to arrive to King Kai's world originally, but since he's a little bit faster and he also doesn't have to take all those twists and turns, it'll take him about 3 months to arrive. So it's about half the journey. So Goku has nearly a whole year to fully train under King Kai. Well, Goku would then begin his training, and when he does land on the gravity, it is a little bit tough for him, but he was used to it because he trained for it for a few months inside the Room of Spirit and Time, so he is used to the gravity a lot more. And he will be able to catch Bubbles, and he'll be able to catch Gregory very easily. Now, King Kai does notice that Goku does have some divine energy within him. Goku would explain about the Dragon Balls and this whole situation, and King Kai was surprised. He's like, wow, okay, I did not think that was possible, but alrighty. King Kai will still choose to train Goku, of course, teaching him the Spirit Bomb and Kaioken. Now, originally, Goku got around 18.8 times stronger in his original. Since he has around 3 more months, I would just say instead of 18.8, it's around 20 times. So, Goku's power level originally was about 2,000. Well, if Goku gets a 20 times boost, that would mean that his power level would be 40,000. And he can use Kaioken times 3 and times 4, no issue. If he pushes it past like times 5 and stuff and times 6, then he'll start getting buffed and he'll have that body issue. At this point in time, he would then fly back, so Piccolo would have still died. Now, when Piccolo died, as well as Tien and Yamcha and Chaozu, this is where Goku would then be furious, but he remembers that the Dragon Balls are not destroyed, so he can wish everybody back. It's okay. Well, when Vegeta and Nappa are there, Goku would then fight Nappa first and easily outclass him. It's not even competition. Goku would then begin to power up as they all sense his power level, and Vegeta would be shocked to see his power level shoot well past 30,000, and his power scouter would then explode. Frieza heard of it on the other end. Now, Frieza's not gone to Namek yet, as they never heard about the Dragon Balls. Now, what you could say would happen is during their fight, the Z Fighters who have then lost, Piccolo would then state that, don't worry, we can just use the Dragon Balls to wish them back. I think that would still happen, so Frieza would still head his way towards Namek just like before, as that would make sense because they still talked about it. So Frieza's still making his way there to go search for the Dragon Balls, just like the original. So Vegeta would be shocked to see how strong Goku was. Nappa was still hot-headed, but I think Vegeta would calm him down and tell him to go after his friends while Vegeta fights him. Vegeta was easily outclassed. Nappa was slapped to the side. Vegeta and Nappa have no chance against Goku. There's not even competition. Well, Vegeta would then summon a fake moon. Now, Goku's tail is hidden behind his G, so they can't tell that he has it. So Vegeta would then throw it into the air, and him and Nappa would then turn into great apes. Vegeta's power level is roughly around 160,000 because he got a little bit weaker by using the fake moon. He stated so himself. Nappa is going to be around 50,000. He then realizes that he's in a little bit of trouble here because of how strong they are. What's Goku going to do? Well, Goku still has Kaioken, so Goku would first bump into Kaioken times 4, and with that times 4, he is strong enough to fight Vegeta. But with Nappa and Vegeta teaming up on him, he's having a problem. Well, during this time, he would then try to remove their tails. He knows that, again, because of his Shenron knowledge, that if you remove a Saiyan's tail, they would then turn back to normal. So he would try to do so. So he would then first go after Nappa first. He would then use the solar flare technique and then blind Nappa. With Nappa blinded, he would then go over and cut off his tail. Nappa would then revert back to normal, as then he would also remove Vegeta's tail as well because they're blinded. Well, they would then revert back to normal as Nappa was badly wounded. He was then laying on the floor. Vegeta was then back to normal and he could see again. Nappa would then reach up asking Vegeta for help. Vegeta would then grab his hand and he would still kill Nappa, throwing him into the air, telling him that he has no use for a crippled Saiyan. Well, Goku would then see that Vegeta just has no honor. Well, Goku would still battle Vegeta, but he knows Vegeta's history, so he would still fight Vegeta. Vegeta has no chance, as he's exhausted, he's tired, his power level is probably like 12,000 because he's already turned Great Ape and back. Even with 16k, doesn't matter. He would have been defeated. Vegeta would probably try shooting a Gallic gun, which would be around 20-some thousand, 30-some thousand. Doesn't matter. He would have been absolutely annihilated. So, yeah. Vegeta's still alive, though. When the smoke clears, Goku held back his Kamehameha. Vegeta would then land, and Goku would then give Vegeta one chance to get out of here and not to come back. Vegeta would then take the hint. He would then leave in a space pod, and he would still leave, heading to Planet Frieza 79, to where he would then look towards heading towards Namek, as he already healed himself up. Now, since Goku was not wounded that much, he would be able to recover really quickly. Goku would then have a vision, and he would see that Frieza is heading to Namek to look for the Dragon Balls, and that's personal because Shenron's there too. Well, Goku knows how powerful Frieza is, and he knows that Frieza's no joke. So he knows that he needs to become stronger, and he would then ask Bulma and her father to make a machine that has the gravity. Well, they can make one, but initially would be better if they get to Namek there first. So it would still be Krillin, Gohan, and Bulma. They would go to Namek first. As the events of the early Namek saga would still happen the same, when Goku does arrive, like the original, the Ginyu Force was already there. Now, Goku would have easily overpowered the Ginyu Force, as if you remember with Goku, Goku went from a power level of 8,000 to 90,000 with gravity training. So if Goku's power level was around 40,000, he would still get 11.25 times stronger, meaning that Goku's power level is 450,000, meaning that he's near the ballpark of Frieza's power. Well, Goku would have annihilated the Ginyu Force, and Captain Ginyu would actually try and steal Goku's body, but Goku's too fast. I think he would be able to dodge it in time. He would have then defeated Ginyu. Ginyu would have been killed and defeated, meaning that all of the Ginyu force is dead, and he would then also help Gohan and Vegeta out. What about Frieza now? Well, since Goku's not badly wounded, they would then find the Dragon Balls all set down. Now, Goku, with his speed, he would, since he's really super fast, he would be able to find Elder Guru and bring the Dragon Balls to him. As what are they going to do now? Since Frieza, remember, originally Frieza would then head back towards his ship. Well, Goku knows that Frieza's heading towards there, so they would then go to Elder Guru's place, which they would then keep their power levels hidden so they can't sense it. So Frieza was heading back towards his ship. He doesn't realize that the Dragon Balls are not there. Elder Guru would then see Goku, and he would then put a hand on Goku's head. He would then see that Goku was actually fused with the Earth Dragon, since the original Dragon Balls. It's incredible. It means that it chose Goku for a reason, and that Goku was a perfect protector for the Dragon Balls. Well, Elder Guru was dying, and everyone knows this. He would still unlock Goku's potential, by the way, so this would in turn make Goku go from 450k, if you want to at least do a 2-times buff, that'd be around 900,000, but it's a slow release. He would then tell Goku that the dragon chose you for a reason, and also he's the strongest, so the Dragon Balls are protected. So that's the whole reason why. They're not going to fuse with Goku. He already has one set of Dragon Balls. He doesn't need 7 more. That would be way too ridiculous. Well, Frieza would then find out, as they would then sense his power. He would then arrive and see that the Dragon Balls are right there just for him, as he would then ask for the dragon to appear, but nothing happens. Goku would then explain, well, it's not going to work to your favor, isn't it? Because you have to be able to speak the Namekian language to unlock the Dragon Balls. Frieza was furious. As Frieza would then fly in to begin attacking Goku, Goku already was way too powerful for Frieza. And, Frieza was damaging Goku pretty well. Goku, again, is too powerful. Frieza would then go into his second form, and the fight would get very intense. And Frieza's already starting to pile on some damage on Goku. He does have Kaioken, though, and he would use that to overpower Frieza initially. Well, Frieza would then go into his final form, pushing past the third one, and he would easily overpower Goku, and he would then fire multiple death beams through his body and a massive beam through his stomach, launching Goku down on the ground. What about Vegeta? Well, Vegeta already got a buff from Dende, and you could even throw in a Senzu Bean if you wanted, so now they have one Senzu Bean left. As now Vegeta was back up to full strength, his power level was much higher, as now he's around 2 million, he would hold Frieza off for the time being. So Goku would then get the final Senzu Bean or healing from Dende, either or. He would then get a big Zenkai, as, in my opinion, let's just say that Goku's power level is around 4 to 5 million. As you know, with Kaioken, he could realistically go times 20 and kill Frieza if he really needed to. Goku's power level being 5 million, he would handle a little bit better against Frieza, but once Frieza uses 50%, Goku's on the down end. Goku would then remember the form that he had when he was younger, and in his mind, he was speaking to Shenron. He would ask Shenron that he needs to unlock that power again, he needs it. So, Goku would then begin powering up. Frieza was shocked to see this, as Goku's golden aura would then surround him, as he would then transform into a Super Saiyan 4 state. Shenron has given him enough magic to where he can turn into it. Remember, that power-up is massive. Goku is really powerful, but he's not there yet to where he can just tap in and out of the form and be in full control, because that form is so ridiculously straining. But Goku's magic is strong enough to where he can tap into the form, and he's able to now use it for a period of time. Well, Goku's power level being about 5 million, if you're going to throw in the fact that the boost will be around 4,000, that's in the billions, meaning that his power level would be around 20 billion. So yeah, Goku would have one-shot Frieza. It would have not been a competition. Frieza would have went 100% because Goku wants to see it, since of course Goku is Goku still. He wants to fight him at his best. He would have easily overpowered Frieza, but he would have still have given Frieza a chance to leave Earth. Frieza would not listen. He'd probably try blowing up Namek, but Goku's too fast. He would catch it. He knows that there's no other way for Frieza, and he would have then fired a massive blast at Frieza, completely incinerating the Emperor and defeating him. Well, now that the world was brought back to peace and the entire universe was back to normal, Goku would then revert out of the form, as Vegeta was shocked to see that Kakarot was a Super Saiyan. It was, incredible. And he realized how strong Goku was. People were flabbergasted with what his power level was. Well, Goku, alongside with the Namekian Dragon Balls and the Earth Dragon Balls, they would then wish everybody on Namek back to life, and everything was good to go. They wouldn't need to move people from Namek to Earth, because Namek's not being destroyed. This also means that Dende necessarily would not come back to Earth because Goku's the guardian of the Dragon Ball, so he's good. So, long story short, everybody would then head back home. And before they do leave, Goku already used his one wish to bring back all the Namekians with his own Dragon Balls. They would then use Porunga to wish back everybody that was killed by the Saiyans. So, the city was brought back, and Goku's friends were brought back, and Piccolo was brought back as well, same with everybody else. So, they would then head back to Earth, and peace was finally restored. For now. It has been over a year since the mighty Frieza was defeated, and there was peace among the universe. Now, remind you here, Goku never went to Yardrat, so he never learned about instant transmission. Not like he really needs it. But Goku would have continued on his journey, continuing to grow stronger. But Goku does have visions. He has these strange dreams of these two people, very powerful, and this bug-like monster that is appearing. Goku would take this year to actually study with the help of Kami to really start to learn how to harness the power of the magic with the Dragon Balls as he's getting better and better. Over the course of the year, he would actually get to the point where instead of one wish, he can make 2 wishes. And he's also getting a better hold on these visions, to where instead of it being a dream to when he falls asleep, if he meditates, he will be able to see the future events and certain flashes. So he knows that a man with purple hair will be arriving and that these major threats will be arriving soon. He doesn't know when exactly, but he's starting to figure it out. He could also just use a wish if he really wanted to use the Dragon Balls to see the future, but that would be a wasteful wish. It wouldn't make a lot of sense for him to do that, and by that point, the Dragon Balls would then be gone for a year. Well, he then knew that Trunks was arriving, and Trunks would. Trunks was confused as he's from the original future timeline, so he would look around and be kind of lost as to why Goku hasn't arrived yet. No one's here at all. He would see no space pod, but he would sense a high power far off. He would then fly and head his way over there. Goku would meet him halfway, so they're in the middle of nowhere. Now, Piccolo did sense Trunks' power level when he did arrive, so Piccolo would have then flown off to go see what's going on as well. And he would have also sensed that Goku was going there as well. The rest of the Z-Fighters were too far away. Now, what about Vegeta? Well, if you remember though, Vegeta saw the battle between Goku and Frieza, and I feel like Vegeta would just follow them back to Earth as he has nowhere else to go. I mean, Frieza's been killed, everything's all over, so I don't think that Vegeta would have anywhere else to go. So Vegeta would head back to Earth, and he would still get with Bulma, but this time around he wouldn't fly off to go search for Goku because Goku's here. Vegeta would just continue his training as he wants to try and surpass Goku, even though Goku is a Super Saiyan. Vegeta wants to become one as well. He thinks that he can. And he would continue trying everything in his power to try and, become a Super Saiyan. Well, Goku would have met up with Trunks, and Trunks was surprised to see Goku here, but maybe Goku just arrived a little bit early. Going back in time just changed things instantly. And so Goku and Trunks would then talk. Trunks would then realize that no one's nearby. Piccolo. Piccolo's far off, but remember, he can hear from very long distances, so he's perfectly fine. Piccolo would be listening to the whole conversation while meditating. As for Goku and Trunks and Goku would have the same interaction that they originally did, with Trunks introducing himself, telling Goku to keep a lot of this stuff a secret. He would even explain who his mother and father is, Bulma and Vegeta, making Goku fall over in shock, but Trunks would then also tell Goku if he can turn into a Super Saiyan. And Goku says, yeah, I can turn into a Super Saiyan. And Trunks says, well, let me show you one. As Trunks would then turn into a Super Saiyan. Goku was confused. As Piccolo did sense the power, it was extraordinary. The other Z-Fighters would have sensed it as well, and they would have flown over there to see what was going on, but it'll take him a few minutes to arrive. Well, Goku was confused. As Trunks says, well, are you satisfied? As Trunks notices Goku's weird expression, Trunks says, what's wrong? And Goku says, that's... Are Super Saiyans different? Yours is a lot less hairy than mine. And Trunks was confused. What are you talking about? And Goku says, that's not Super Saiyan, is it? Well, and the Trunks like, well, you can go Super Saiyan, right? And Trunks says, yeah. And Trunks is confused. He says, well, go Super Saiyan yourself. Goku would then turn into a Super Saiyan 4. Trunks was shocked. Flabbergasted. Bro couldn't even, he was baked and fried. Bro could not comprehend how strong Goku was. Goku's power level is easily in the billions still. I mean, power levels are redundant by this point, but he's a couple million stronger than when he fought Frieza. His power level would be probably 30 to 40 billion compared to the last time it was 20. So yeah, he's already stronger than Cell. It's ridiculous. Trunks was blown away. He never thought that that was even possible. As Trunks says, that's not a normal Super Saiyan. I've never seen a transformation like that. But that power alone can easily defeat my version of the androids. And Trunks says, did going back in time do something? Trunks would then ask Goku, like, how did you get that power? That's not Super Saiyan. That's something more evolved. That's something more advanced. And Goku would explain his story about the Dragon Balls and everything else, and Trunks was shocked. Trunks was like, that didn't happen in my timeline. Did going back in time change things this much? But Trunks thinks that this is the good way, because if Goku is this powerful, with the heart medicine that he's going to give Goku, Goku can easily beat the androids. They would have no chance. And so he would explain about the heart medicine, giving it to Goku, explaining when the androids are arriving within about 3 years' time, and where the location is. And Trunks will return so he can help them. So Trunks would then take his leave. As the Z Fighters would have arrived, Piccolo would have then spilled the beans to everybody else, but keep some stuff hidden to not mess with time, as he heard the whole thing. So the Z Fighters would then continue on training for the next 3 years. Vegeta would have flown off into space on his own to continue training, and we all know where he is. He unlocked Super Saiyan right up in space, but Goku would still train with Gohan and Piccolo. Now, Goku, again, is absurdly powerful, and Goku here pushing Piccolo and Gohan even further. Now, this would make Gohan and Piccolo even stronger than the original. So with them being so powerful, training with such a powerful sparring partner such as Goku, especially if in a Super Saiyan 4 state, yeah, I think they'll be busted. I also think that Piccolo, again, would be smart. Piccolo would be smart and tell Goku, Goku, you say you have 2 wishes, right? Goku says, yeah. And he says, and the Dragon Balls take about a year to renew themselves, correct? He says, yes. And he says, well, we have 2 years of training left. Why don't you unlock me and Gohan's potentials? Wouldn't that not make us stronger? And Goku thinks to himself, oh yeah, why didn't he think about that? He can just use the Dragon Balls to, well, within himself, to just make a wish. He didn't really think that far, didn't he? And he says, it would make sense for you to unlock our potentials, maybe even the Earthlings too. If their potentials are unlocked, they could help us fight the androids. Goku thinks, Piccolo, you are a genius. Piccolo says, I try. Well, he would then, his eyes would then glow red, and he would unlock Piccolo and Gohan's potential. Now, Gohan getting his potential unlocked is ridiculous. And no, people, Gohan will not unlock some rare new form. He will not unlock Beast Mode or something like that. That's not going to happen. He will unlock a, per se, potential unleashed form, quote unquote, similar to how Piccolo got it, to where he can tap into this. And it was similar power up to how Mystic was. What it does is it just pushes your body to its limits at that point in time. It's the exact same as what Elder Kai explained about Mystic. So it's the Dragon Ball version of Mystic mode. So I don't think that Gohan would look too different. One cool fact is maybe Gohan's eyes turn blue and his hair rises a little bit, which would look really cool. And as for Piccolo, Piccolo would receive his potential unlock form. So he would just lose the lines and he would have more of an orange tint to his skin. And Goku also said that Shenron also gave you an extra bonus later down the line. And Piccolo doesn't know what that means, but they are very powerful. Their strength is similar to that of Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And mainly Piccolo. Piccolo's not as strong as Goku, but he is a lot closer to Goku. And Gohan is way stronger. So they would continue training. Now, after a year, so now this is on year 2. Now, this is a couple of months before the androids would arrive. So Goku would be able to use the wishes again to wish for the Earthlings to basically become more powerful. So Goku has enough time. He would then use only one of the wishes. So they have a backup wish in case anything happens. So Goku has 2 wishes. So this is when Goku would then have to pick Tien, Krillin, or Yamcha to unlock their potential. And Goku really thinks about it, as he doesn't know which one to pick. But wait, he has an idea. As he explains that he wants to give all 3 of them their own potentials, but he can't do it all in one wish. But he has an idea. Piccolo explains, why don't you give that to Kami? Goku explains, what do you mean? He says, make a wish to where Kami can unlock a user's potential with the same potential unlock like how Shenron does. Give that same power to Kami, and Kami can do it. Or even Piccolo if he wants. And Goku thinks, Piccolo, you're a genius once again. I mean, Piccolo is just the smartest guy when it comes to the wishes. So he would give it to Kami, and Kami would then unlock Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien's potential. The Earthlings are back, and they are much stronger. Their new potential unleashed forms are going to be custom, and you will be seeing their forms very shortly. Well, the couple of months would then pass, and they're ready to fight the androids. More than ready. Now, sadly, Vegeta did not get his potential unlock, but we'll get to that one later. As now, cutting forward, we would then have Dr. Gero and Android 19 arrive. Now, Dr. Gero and Android 19, they are actually stronger than the original. Not by a huge margin, but their power levels were a little bit stronger than that of Frieza. And they were confident that they could beat Goku. They didn't realize about Super Saiyan, but cutting forward, they were shocked by it, with how strong Goku was. Now, I would say they're about double that strength. So they're similar in strength to Goku when he fought Android 19, when he started getting sick a little bit, but he was still able to mop the floor with both of them. Well, they would actually put up a pretty decent fight, but what I think would happen here is they would want to kill Goku first, so Goku would step up. Now, during these 3 years, in my opinion, Goku would unlock Super Saiyan, and the reason why I say this is because his S cell count is so high that I think he can just unlock Super Saiyan, similar to how Goten can. And I know that might seem like a pull, but Goten and Trunks had similar S cell counts that was so high that they just turned Super Saiyan. And yes, I know Goku's not a half Saiyan, but his S cell count would be so ridiculously high that he's so much stronger, and he hasn't unlocked Super Saiyan yet, he would have been able to unlock it somehow, some way. Now, Goku does have Super Saiyan. He would use that instead, as Super Saiyan 4 seems like overkill. Goku likes to kind of ride up in form slowly. So one by one, he gets stronger and stronger as he fights. That's just how Goku is. So Goku would go Super Saiyan, and the androids were shocked with how strong he was. Goku, as a Super Saiyan, is a little bit stronger than the androids because they're much more powerful. So Goku would be able to overpower Android 19, but what about the heart virus? Originally, Goku succumbed to the heart virus, and he nearly died from it, but he was able to recover in time, but he was bedridden for days. This time around, Goku doesn't get the heart virus. Why? Because of Shenron. Remember, Goku's partially immortal. Now, this does not protect Goku from fatal wounds, as he needs to wish for that. But this does protect him from diseases and age, so Goku's good to go. So Goku can live forever, and he can never get sick from diseases. So the heart virus does count as one, so Shenron's protecting him in that route. So Goku never actually got the heart virus, so he would never need it, and Goku feels perfectly fine. So Goku on his own would have been able to beat Android 19. It was a pretty decent fight, and Goku had to be careful because of the ki absorption, but he was able to block it, and he was able to destroy Android 19. Now, this is when Vegeta would then arrive, and he was cocky as ever because he feels that he has unlocked the Super Saiyan transformation and that he's unbeatable. Well, as we know in typical Vegeta fashion, he would have tried attacking Dr. Gero, removing one of his arms as a Super Saiyan. Dr. Gero would be able to escape by firing massive ki blast, blinding everybody because they cannot sense his energy, and he was able to escape. Now, they would soon find where his lab is as he was sneaking around hiding, and it was almost like a goose hunt to try and find him. Well, Dr. Gero would still activate 17 and 18. Now, 17 and 18 would kill Dr. Gero, and this is when they would activate Android 16 as well. Goku was still not out of commission yet because there's no heart virus, so he's still ready to fight. He is a little tired from fighting 19 because he was in Super Saiyan, and he hasn't fully mastered the form yet. Now, Vegeta is cocky as ever. He wants to straight up fight the androids first. The androids see Goku, so they instantly want to fight him. Well, it'll go a little interesting for Vegeta. While Vegeta is very powerful, his strength is actually similar to the original. It's not that much higher, maybe a little bit, but 17 and 18 are way stronger, especially 16. In terms of power scaling, Android 17 and Android 18 are around the same strength as second form Cell. That shows you how strong they are. Not as powerful as like Ascended Super Saiyan Vegeta, he was a level above that, but they're in that ballpark of second form Cell level, which already makes them, 3 to 4, way more strong, 3 to 4, 5 times stronger, which, yeah, Vegeta would get mixed. His punches would do nothing against Android 18. She would just slap him across the side of the mountain, and Vegeta would have lost. They want to fight Goku, though. 16 would instantly step up to go fight Goku, so 16's more dangerous. 16 is more powerful than Ascended Super Saiyan Vegeta and Second Form Cell because he is the strongest android out of the three. So Goku would fight Android 16. Goku would go Super Saiyan first, but we know how that goes. His punches would have no effect on him, and he was getting overwhelmed. Now, as for Piccolo and the others would then fight 17 and 18. Now, this is when we would see Krillin step up to fight Android 18. This is crazy, I know. And 18 was not impressed by Krillin's power, but she senses that something's off about Krillin. Krillin would then smirk, and he states that me, Tien, and Yamcha, we Earthlings have been on the sidelines for way too long. But now, we've gotten much more powerful since then. We're going to show you what we're made of. Well, this is when Krillin would then transform into his potential unleashed state, having a strange third eye above his head, and he would have a glowing orange aura around his body. Basically the picture that you're seeing right here of Krillin's new potential unleashed form. And his power was immense. Krillin's gotten way stronger since then, and Yamcha and Tien were just smirking as they were watching the fight. How strong is this version of Krillin? This version of Krillin is comparable to Android 17 and 18. I know. So when she flies in to go attack Krillin, Krillin's able to hold his own. And he's actually able to fight back and give her a really good fight. Now, this does make sense power scaling wise since Piccolo's way above them. If Piccolo goes into his potential unleashed form, he would probably be in the realms, I would probably say, about half of Perfect Cell's power, maybe higher than that. He would probably be near Perfect Cell's power. Remember, he's not fused with Kami as well, so that'll make him even stronger. If he fused with Kami, then he would be stronger than Cell. Perfect Cell, no issue. Now, as for, let's say, Tien and Yamcha, they're pretty much the same as Krillin. They're comparable, as I would say that Tien is probably the strongest out of the two, but it's very slightly. It's not that much of a competition. Now, as for 17, what about Piccolo? Well, this is when I think that Piccolo would then fight 17 and go into his potential unleashed form, and he would start mixing up 17 really badly. Android 17 would not be able to touch Piccolo. Piccolo's slapping him around, and Piccolo's too powerful. Now, as for Goku, Goku was actually able to hold his own against 16 until 16 would then not hold back, and he would start beating the heck out of Goku as a Super Saiyan. Goku would then get up, and he would then begin charging up, ripping his top G off, Daima version, and he would then transform into a Super Saiyan 4. His power alone was ridiculous. They have no chance. He can fight all three of them at the same time and one-shot them if he wanted to, as they knew that they were defeated. 16 knew that he had no chance of beating Goku. He was contemplating self-explosion, but then Goku would then speak to Android 16, telling them to stop. The androids did, and Goku explained that you don't need to follow Dr. Dro's orders. You have free will to do what you wish. Why don't you enjoy this gift that you have, and take this advantage to enjoy nature and love life? 16 would actually think about it as he was looking down. As 17 and 18 were a little confused, 16 would then stand up, and he would then offer his hand to Goku, shaking his hand, and he would then accept it. Surprising the androids that 16 would so willingly just give up orders like that, but 16 explains that Goku was right. Why are we bound to listen to somebody that doesn't have any more control over us? Why? Why don't we just let it go? And besides, fighting at this level is too dangerous and it's hurting nature, so we can't do this. Well, the androids would actually agree, and 18 would like Krillin even more because Krillin's no pushover, and they would then just give up just like that. Now, Trunks would want to kill them, but I think he would calm down and realize that they're not as evil as the original androids that he fought. There's something different about these androids. They're way less aggressive. Well, as for Vegeta, he had both his arms broken, so his pride is shattered. But Vegeta did recover. Now that the androids were on our side, the androids would then go do their own thing. They'd probably hang out near Capsule Corp, so Bulma can actually remove the threats against Goku, because they're fighting against it, but it is in their coding. She would also deactivate the bombs that they have in their chest, so they don't blow up Earth because of that as well. So they're all good to go. And Bulma even offers Android 16, if he wants to stay here, he can protect the Capsule Corp if he wants to. And I think Android 16 will probably decline, as Android 17 is probably going to become a park ranger, and 16 will probably join him. 18, she doesn't know what she's going to do. She'll just go do her own thing. Well, they forgot about one being, though. And that being is Cell. Cell has been on the sidelines, but he then has sensed all these powers. Cell's not an idiot. He knows how strong Goku and the others are, especially in that Super Saiyan weird monkey state. He has no chance, unless he's perfect. So, Cell would then secretly hatch a plan. He's going to absorb them and find the androids, but he has to get them all together. One way is to wait until they're all together, blind them, and then absorb 17 and 18. That's his only option. So, while everybody was at Capsule Corp, Cell would then appear out of nowhere. And people were weird to see him. They don't know who he is or what he is, because Bulma and Gohan never looked around and found the old time machine where Cell's cocoon was. So they don't know about Cell yet. And Bulma never looked into the data files to figure out who Cell is. No one knows about him. They don't know if he's good or bad either. They can't tell just yet. Cell would waste zero time, and he would yell out, "Solar Flare," blinding everyone, and even Goku, and everybody was confused on what's happening, as this is when Cell would then take his chance and absorb 17 and 18. And it was too late, as 16 would try to grab Cell's tail to stop it, but it was too late, as Cell has already absorbed them, and his power shoves 16 back on the ground, as Cell would then transform past his second state into his perfect form. Because check out his perfect form, it's perfect. It's perfection. It's so perfect that this video will get the most perfect amount of views, because it's perfect. Cell would then relish in his new power. He's never felt so powerful. Remember, these androids are way more powerful than they originally were. Way more powerful. And this version of Cell, I can comfortably say, is as strong as Majin Buu, as strong as Fat Buu before he split apart, which means he's way stronger. So yeah, Cell is ridiculously strong. Not to mention, too, he would then want to fight Goku immediately. He wants to fight that Super Saiyan 4 transformation. Now, in terms of power scaling for Goku, Goku is actually a little bit weaker than Cell. I will admit this. Because Goku, around the 3-year gap before, when he fought with Trunks briefly, Goku, in his Super Saiyan 4 state, is around the same strength as Cell, if not a little bit higher. Perfect Cell. Or Super Perfect Cell if you want to even push it. Well, if it's been 3 years, he's gotten a little bit stronger, a couple million, but in reality, he was more or less training Piccolo and Gohan to help them catch up. That's what he was doing in the original. Well, Goku didn't get crazy much stronger, but he did get a little bit, a couple million stronger. I would put him roughly about Super Saiyan 2 Majin and Super Saiyan 2 Goku's level, which is a lot more powerful than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and Super Perfect Cell as a Super Saiyan 4. Now, Goku would try to fight Cell, but Cell's too strong. No matter what Goku did, Cell was just too strong, which shot Goku. No one ever imagined just how powerful Cell was. Cell is ridiculous. But Goku would push Cell pretty well, but we know what happened to Vegeta when he fought Majin Buu. But now, Majin Buu is a strange creature, though. Majin Buu is a bit more durable and more bouncier than Cell. So Goku was able to land some good shots on Cell, but Cell was holding back. Cell would have outclassed Goku. Goku would have been defeated, and Cell could have ended everything right now if he wanted to. But he had an idea. If I give y'all a couple days, you guys think you guys can get stronger? Yeah, might be able to. Okay, great. Well, Cell would then do the same thing they did before. He was impressed by how strong they all got within a short amount of time. So he would then ask Goku and them that he would give them around 10 days to get stronger and to participate in the Cell games. So he would then fly off and do the same thing that he did, fighting off the army, the televised broadcast, and he would have also made the Cell Games arena. But there is still one green square in the middle, even though he's remade that thing about 12 times. TFS, get the reference? Well, Goku and the others know that they need to go in the Room of Spirit and Time, as that's one day can equal a whole year of training. So that's exactly what they would do. Well, it would still be Goku and Gohan, they would then go in. As for Piccolo, I think Piccolo would then accept the fact of Kami, and they would agree to fuse and become one. Now, this would also make Piccolo way stronger. In terms of power scaling, Piccolo is already uh, around Cell's level. He's a little bit weaker than Goku. Goku's around twice, 3 times higher than he is. Now, when he fuses with Kami, Goku's around a similar strength. So he's around Super Saiyan 2 Goku level from the Buu arc. Well, Piccolo would then step in the Room of Spirit and Time on his own to continue his training. But there is one person that actually wants to train with Piccolo, and that's actually Vegeta. While true, Trunks is his son, and Trunks is pretty powerful, but Vegeta even stated to Piccolo that he needs to train with somebody who can truly push him and is way more powerful than he is. Which was shocking that Vegeta even admitted that, but he states that we Saiyans get stronger the more powerful opponents we face, and you're a perfect example. And I also know that you won't show any mercy. So, yeah. So instead of just, Trunks, I think would probably go in with either Tien or Krillin, and he would probably go train with them. So that would be the swap up. So instead of just Piccolo going by himself, Vegeta would then go with Piccolo. Since remember, Piccolo doesn't need food, he just needs water and he's fine. Well, Vegeta and Piccolo would then begin their training, and it was pure hell. Piccolo even stated that. I'm going to put you through pain worse than hell because you'll become stronger because of that. And Vegeta states that's the whole point. And I know that you can unlock one's potential, and you're going to do it for me when we're ready. As Vegeta wants to push his body to its limit of his base form to have all this hidden potential, and then he wants to release it. We'll get to Vegeta later on. Well, we would then have a couple of days would then pass as all the Z Fighters were then ready. Well, Goku and Gohan would do their training inside the Room of Spirit in Time, and yes, they've gotten much more powerful. Goku would continue training in a Super Saiyan 4 state, and now he has full control over it. He's fully fine in the form, and he's only gotten stronger. As for Gohan in his new Potential Unleashed state, he has grown massive in power, and even during that time, Goku did help him unlock Super Saiyan. Now, you could dabble in Super Saiyan 2, but there's no point. Since he has his Potential Unleashed form, what else does he need? So yeah, Gohan's way more powerful as well. In terms of Gohan's level, Gohan was able to catch up to Goku, not as a Super Saiyan 4, but he was able to catch up to Goku in terms of, I would say he's around original Perfect Cell level, if not a little bit higher, in this Potential Unleashed state. Now, once when everyone's out, they would then take a couple days to rest. As then, this is when the Cell games would then start. And this is when we would have Goku step up first. Now, Goku knows that Gohan does have a hidden power within him, but he doesn't, he knows it takes a lot of rage to do it, but he's confident that he can probably fight Cell on his own, for now. But he does want Gohan to step up next in case he does get knocked out. And Vegeta states, yeah, that's not happening, but we'll see about that. Well, the Cell games would then begin, Goku would then step up. Goku would turn Super Saiyan first and fight Cell. Cell's not impressed, he wants to see the real Goku. Goku would then turn Super Saiyan 4, and the fight was actually very intense, as Goku was really pushing Cell, and they were almost dead even in strength. Really fighting to get, really fighting. But Cell has his healing ability, and Goku knows that he's in a losing match, as there's not much that he can really do. Well, this is when he would then send out Gohan or Woody. This is when I think, when the whole arena was destroyed, Cell would then remove the limits, of course, of the Cell Games arena, it doesn't matter, as this is when Vegeta would then step up, and Vegeta states, I'm next. And Cell says, fine by me, he's always wanted to fight the great Vegeta. Vegeta would then tell Kakarot to stay the hell out of my way. I'm going to show you what a real Super Saiyan looks like. And the training that Vegeta went through to become that strong is pure hell. Piccolo really abused the heck out of Vegeta in there, capitalizing on Zenkai's and unlocking his potential. Well, Vegeta would then begin to power up. As Vegeta's armor would then begin cracking off his body, but then shatter, as even the top of his suit would then rip off, as a tail would then form. Goku was shocked to see this, as a golden aura would then surround Vegeta, as then Vegeta would then transform into a Super Saiyan 4 as well. Piccolo unlocking Vegeta's inner potential, similar to how Neva did, because Kami and, the dragon gave him the power-up, is Vegeta was able to tap into Super Saiyan 4, pushing past his Potential Unleashed state and unlocking the 4th state, thus becoming a Super Saiyan 4. Also because it's cool. Everybody was shocked, and Goku was surprised, but he was also amazed that Vegeta unlocked it. And Vegeta says the Prince of All Saiyans is back, once again. And Vegeta's power is comparable to Goku. He's a little bit weaker than Goku, but they're pretty much almost dead even. Now, Cell was already tired after fighting Goku. So when Vegeta comes in, it's a dead even fight. Vegeta is pushing Cell. Now, this is when Vegeta would then put his hands together, and he would then charge a final flash, hitting Cell full force. Cell would be almost incinerated by this attack, but he would regrow and come back. Well, this is a problem, because Cell just got a Zenkai because of this, and he's more perfect. He's super perfect. Cell's aura would then sparkle and almost, have electric shocks. Cell would then tell them, is that really it? Is that all you guys got? If that is it, I am not impressed. As now they're at a standstill, what do? Vegeta put a lot of energy into that attack. What are they going to do to beat this version of Cell? Goku then has an idea. He did think about it back when he trained on King Kai's world. Now, Major Dragon, what are you talking about? Well, Goku had a few extra months that he could train on King Kai's planet, back in the original. Now, Goku did also explore the other world a little bit more with King Kai, as he had a few more months, and King Kai was able to show him around. This was near the latter end of his training, to see if Goku can soak up any knowledge from anyone else to try and figure out how to become stronger. Well, Goku would then have an idea. He hasn't actually fully tried it yet. He did see them do it one time. It might work. You guys know what I'm talking about. He would then tell Vegeta and Piccolo about it, as the Earthlings would then transform and go distract Cell fighting them. Vegeta, when he heard it, would flip out and say, there is no way I'm doing that dance. Goku would then show the fusion dance to Vegeta, and Piccolo thought, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, but if that will work, what other option do we have? The problem is Goku only saw it one time, so they might get it wrong. Well, this is when they're going to try out the fusion dance. He begs Vegeta to do it. If they don't, then his infant son Trunks and his darling Bulma will die. Please, just this one time, Vegeta. Let's get past our differences and let's just work together. Just this one time. Vegeta would then accept it, and they would then practice the fusion dance by themselves, not doing it yet. Cell was confused on what they're doing, as while the Earthlings' punches were not doing too much against him at all, he was still watching them, but he is interested. They would then try the fusion dance, and it would flop, as they're in their Super Saiyan 4 state, and it flopped. They were just a fat Super Saiyan 4, Goku. And Cell would then laugh, as he would then slap Goku around a little bit. They would then defuse, as now they gotta wait over 30 minutes to about an hour. So, yeah, Cell's not very impressed. So, Cell would just let them do their thing, as he's actually really wanting to see this. So, he would just toy around, as he would then make Cell Juniors. These Cell Juniors are very powerful, so Gohan and Piccolo and the others would then continue on fighting them. Well, this is when Piccolo would then tap into a new form. As the Cell Juniors were pretty powerful, pushing Piccolo back, Piccolo would then push forward, and he would then unlock Orange Piccolo. Cell was amazed by how strong Piccolo was. Now, we don't know the official multiplier for Orange Piccolo on top of Potential Unleashed, but I've actually made a video before explaining that at bare minimum, he's 20 times stronger. The reason I say this is because original Orange Piccolo one-shot Super Saiyan Blue level character, which is the Gammas, and those were the same Gammas that were giving Mystic Gohan and Potential Unleashed Piccolo a very hard fight. And Potential Unleashed Piccolo and Mystic Gohan were said to be as strong as Blue Goku or Blue level characters, and Orange Piccolo one-shot him. So even if you want to say twice as strong, that's a bit redundant. But I would say that by this point, they say that Piccolo and Gohan were able to catch up to Goku and Vegeta at that time. And at that time, Vegeta's most powerful transformation was Blue Evolution. So if you want to put that into perspective, Goku's highest form is MUI. So I lowballed Piccolo, and I put him around the same strength as a Blue Evolution buff. So I'd like to put him at around 20 times. If you want to fight me in the comments about it, go on ahead. I don't care. But Piccolo got at least, a 20 times buff, but either way. So Piccolo is way stronger. Now, this would intrigue Cell. Remember, Cell got way more powerful because of this final flash that hit him. He got a massive Zenkai. He's way stronger than Fat Buu now. It's ridiculous how much powerful he is. So him and Piccolo would actually have a really tough fight. But remember, Piccolo was already tired because he fought Cell and the Cell Juniors. So he's already exhausted. But he would still fight, Cell for now and hold him back. This is when Goku and Vegeta would then do the fusion dance once again. As Piccolo was being held by the throat, the fusion would work this time. They would then become Gogeta as a Super Saiyan 4. And their power was beyond ridiculous by that point. They're way stronger than Vegeta was in the original. Their power by that point is near rivaling that of Super Saiyan God. So, or even if you want to lowball it and say not even that, fine. Either way, those cells cooked. They're not going to waste any time since Gogeta does not mess around like how Vegeta does. He would have easily annihilated Cell, and a single punch from them would have made him spit out 17 and 18. So 17 and 18 were basically saved. And now he was back to first form. He didn't have time to do his self-explosion technique because they would have grabbed his tail, throwing him in the air, shooting a Big Bang Kamehameha, incinerating Cell. By that point, the fusion timer would have ran out as they only had a few minutes and they would have defused. And Vegeta says, "I'm never doing that again until the day I die." And they would begin laughing. As the Cell Juniors were defeated by Piccolo and the others, Cell was defeated, so there was finally peace back on Earth. Now, over the course of the 7 years, mind you, Goku never died. Now, Goku could have gone to King Kai's world, which I still think he probably would have. He would have probably gone there to train like how he did in Battle of Gods, just to train and do his thing. He can also go to Otherworld because he's that guy, if he wanted to. But either way, he would have continued doing his thing, training for 7 years. This also means that when Goten is born, Goten's ridiculously strong. Goku is around to train Gohan and Goten. Now, Vegeta is not as bitter as he originally was because he has Goku around to train and fight with him, and they are equals when it comes to forms. So yeah, Goku's and Vegeta are very powerful together. They've already had multiple matches, and it usually ends with Goku winning, maybe Vegeta wins one, or a stalemate. It's they're pretty much tied. So they're getting stronger and stronger together. Now, 7 years later, the Buu arc would have started the exact same, except that Goku was not here just for 24 hours. He's not dead. So, they would have all met. They would have met the Supreme Kai just like before. Now, Gohan would have still went to Orange Star High School, and he would have still met Videl. Now, Videl would have still fought Spopovich, and she would have been brutally beaten. This would cause Gohan to be angry, and I feel like Gohan would have Super Saiyan 2 by this point. It's been 7 years, and he's training. And he has his potential unleashed form, but either way. Gohan here would then showcase his potential unleashed state to Gabito Kai, showing how strong he is. Gohan is, in my opinion, he didn't get that much stronger because he's still been studying, but he didn't lose his power. So by that point, he's probably, I would roughly say, a little bit stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Goku and Vegeta. Maybe near Fat Buu's level, a little bit there. And yeah, it goes to show you just how strong Gohan has become on slight training. Even Goten is way stronger. Goten's second form Cell level easily as a Super Saiyan, which is ridiculous. And yeah, so Gohan is ridiculous, but he would have had his energy stolen, and they would then fly off. Supreme Kai would have made them follow them so they can find Bobby's ship. Vegeta would have easily handled Pui Pui, same with Goku handling Yakon. That would have gone the exact same. Now, would Vegeta be taken over? No, because Babidi would probably try to take over Vegeta, but it wouldn't work. Vegeta wouldn't need the Majin control to beat Goku because he has beaten Goku before. He's already satisfied, and he accepts that, they're rivals to the end. So Vegeta would never allow himself to be taken over. He can fight Goku anytime he wants. As for Dabura, well, sadly Dabura has no chance. Gohan would have killed him or the other Z fighters. This means that Babidi would have no choice but to try and flee, but the Supreme Kai would have stopped it, and Babidi would have been killed. Now, what you could say is before Babidi would have been killed, he might be able to revive Majin Buu because of how strong Gohan is. His energy alone would be enough to revive him. And I would say that Majin Buu would probably still be revived by the time that Dabura was killed. And Babidi was soon to be killed. Now, if Buu was born, Goku would probably fight Majin Buu himself. And he would toss Majin Buu around. Even if Goku had Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2, even Super Saiyan 4, he would have slapped Buu around. And I think he would have left Buu alone to let Buu do his thing because he senses that Buu is not all evil. He's more like a naughty child, doesn't know any better. Until Buu would then be befriended by Mr. Satan since they thought of a pink monster was nearby. and Mr. Satan was still shot along with the dog B. This would then make Majin Buu snap and release Evil Buu. Super Buu would have still been taken over, and he would then want to fight Goku again. He wants to fight somebody strong. Well, Goku would then turn Super Saiyan 4, and remember, they've had 7 years to get stronger. Goku's a lot stronger. A lot. Goku in his Super Saiyan 4 state is way stronger than Super Buu. Way stronger. In my opinion, as Super Saiyan 4 is, they're probably Buuhan level, and that's not even being overpowered. That makes a lot of sense. They got tens of hundreds of times stronger since the original Buu arc. So why would they not be stronger? And Cell by that point, in his previous Zenkai, was as strong as a pre-split Fat Buu, and on top of the Zenkai, he was already reaching the power levels of Super Buu. So that just goes to show you. Even people like Piccolo could probably fight Super Buu perfectly fine and handle his own. Well, even though Super Buu is very powerful, he knows that he cannot beat Goku or Vegeta. I think while he tries fighting Goku in Super Saiyan 4, he would absorb Goku. But Goku would not allow this, as Goku allowed himself to be absorbed like how Vegeta did, so if Goku and Vegeta thought of that, Goku would think of it too. Goku would have his ki surround himself as the magic did not affect him. So Goku was spared. Now, Goku would then travel through Buu's body, as Buu would then stand still, as then he would then find Fat Buu, and he would then free him as he's trying to save Fat Buu's life. This would then cause Kid Buu to come out, and Kid Buu would try to blow up the planet like he originally did, but even Vegeta would stop it. Now, I think Vegeta tells Kakarot that his turn is up. It's his turn to fight Kid Buu, so he would turn Super Saiyan 4, and he would absolutely trash Kid Buu. Not even a competition. It was a slaughter. Kid Buu had no chance. Even though he's a freak fighter and he's way more aggressive than Super Buu and Fat Buu, doesn't matter. Vegeta's way too powerful. Vegeta's comparative to Goku. And Goku's already comparative to around Buuhan's level, maybe a little bit weaker, but it doesn't matter. Kid Buu would have lost. Vegeta would have sent him right to hell. He would have easily shot him a final flash, and Kid Buu would have been annihilated, thus ending that arc. Now that the Buu arc was finished a lot earlier, peace would have been restored to Earth, as they would continue their training, doing what they did in the original, as life is peaceful. As of now, far off in space, there is a purple cat now beginning to stir awake, as he can sense these incredible powers nearby that intrigue him to fight. Lord Beerus, the god of destruction, the most powerful being in all of Universe 7, one of the most powerful gods of destruction, has now awoken. He was having dreams of a mortal that can give him a true fight, a true rival. He was trying to paint a picture of what it was, as he couldn't remember. A Saiyan something. Super Saiyan. As he was speaking to the Oracle Fish and Whis, he finally got it. The Super Saiyan God. That's exactly what he needs. A god to give him a true challenge. He's lacked inspirations and fun for decades, as all this time, he has not had a true rival in millions of years. He's bored. Boredom. Being the strongest, while it has its perks, being the strongest being in the universe, but it's a curse because there's no fun, there's no adrenaline, no fighting. So, Beerus has had this dream, and he will find the Super Saiyan God, no matter what. He would then ask Whis, are there any Saiyans still alive? Did Frieza blow up the planet like I told him to? Whis would explain that yes, there are actually. There's a handful of Saiyans actually on Earth, and one of the Saiyans actually defeated Frieza. This would shock Beerus, as he thinks that's interesting. Frieza was one of the most powerful beings in the universe. Maybe that's a Super Saiyan God. Whis would then show, on his sphere, that this Saiyan has a unique transformation. They call it Super Saiyan 4. This has perked his interest, as this form was not a god form, but it was very powerful. But maybe they might find some answers there, and maybe they might have Super Saiyan God, he doesn't know. So he would then tell Whis that they need to get to Earth right now. So Whis would then state, well, my lord, that will take around 20 minutes. And Whis would say, man, that's a whole Dragon Ball episode. Let's do it. So they would then make their way towards Earth. Now, Goku originally was training on King Kai's world. Let's just say this time around he was on Earth this time. So Goku was enjoying Bulma's 38th birthday party by eating all the food alongside with Vegeta. Now, Beerus would still show up, and he would be searching for the Super Saiyan God. I think initially, Beerus originally got angry because of Majin Buu or Goten and Trunks from the other side of the show, if you guys want to throw that in there. But I think since Goku and Vegeta's there to keep Beerus calm, I don't think he would flip out. And also, he's not as agitated because when he fought Goku, he was kind of disappointed because he thought that Goku was the Super Saiyan God until he kind of two-shot him as a Super Saiyan 3. Well, Beerus here also sees the amazing food, so I think he would try out the food first, but he would explain that he is here to fight the Super Saiyan God. And he's not leaving until he gets it. If he doesn't get it, he'll blow up the earth. Now, Goku initially would then ask Shenron in his head what's a Saiyan God. Shenron would then explain to Goku everything about it. So, Goku doesn't really need to make Beerus wait that long. He would explain to Beerus that there is no Super Saiyan God, but you can make one. You need 5 Saiyans with righteous hearts to give their energy into another, and then they would then become a Super Saiyan God. And Beerus says, perfect, let's do it right now. Now, Goku, knowing Goku, he would want to try fighting Beerus as a Super Saiyan 4 first, as this is just how Goku is. And Goku asked Beerus if that's okay, as Beerus actually would accept. The reason why is because he didn't fight Goku before, and Super Saiyan 4 actually looked pretty interesting. He wants to see how this non-god form would handle his power. So Goku would then go Super Saiyan 4. And what about Vegeta? Now, just to mind you though, Vegeta is still kind of overcoming his fear of Beerus. He's very terrified of Beerus' power. So Vegeta actually would not challenge Beerus up front. The only reason why he did is because he hit Bulma. Well, this time around, he never hit her. So Vegeta would not have a reason to go apeshit and go attack Beerus. So Goku would then go Super Saiyan. He would try hitting Beerus. That doesn't do anything. Super Saiyan 2 doesn't do anything, obviously. Beerus is getting annoyed. This is not the ape-looking form that he was in. Now, Goku, would he have Super Saiyan 3? You could say so because Vegeta was even able to unlock it, but what's the point of him having it? Super Saiyan 3 is a pretty useless transformation. It has a decent power-up, but the stamina is horrendous on that form, and you can't fight in there for long. And Super Saiyan 4 is 10 times stronger plus than Super Saiyan 3, and it has no real stamina drain, so why would he need Super Saiyan 3? Well, Goku would then go Super Saiyan 4. Now, this is what Beerus was talking about. Now, in terms of power scaling, you can jump around the characters all you want. As it's been a few years, they've gotten a lot more powerful over this time. Now, in terms of power scaling, Goku has gotten much stronger. As I would say in terms of power levels, I would say as a Super Saiyan 4, he's around the power levels of Vegito, maybe a little bit higher, which shows you how strong he is. But of course, even Goku stated that even a fusion between him and Vegeta as Vegito, or even Gogeta, since Goku knew the fusion dance, apparently that was canon, now in the Broly movie, would not beat Beerus. So, unfortunately, though Goku was very powerful as a Super Saiyan 4, Beerus was pretty impressed. It would take a few more hits to kind of beat Goku, but Beerus was holding back. So, Goku would have lost that match, and Beerus would have easily won. So Goku was knocked out of a Super Saiyan 4 state, but he wasn't unconscious, and Beerus states that was pretty impressive, but unfortunately, not what I'm looking for. Now, you're wondering too, if Goku and Vegeta's Super Saiyan 4 is that powerful, since Vegeta is comparable to Goku, well, why don't they just fuse into Gogeta? Because I explained before that the last time that they fused, they were a little bit weaker than Super Saiyan God Goku. So if they fuse now, they would actually be around Super Saiyan God Goku's power. Well, Goku, even he knows, he went over this in his head, that the fusion only lasts a few minutes. He doesn't think that would be enough time to fight Beerus. And not to mention, too, they can't sense energy. So what are they going to do? Now, to make this form as strong as possible, they're all going to go back to their base forms, turn Super Saiyan, and give Goku the power. I know some people would probably want to like mix the God Ki with Super Saiyan 4. Could that be possible? Maybe. So what we're going to do is do something a little different in this what if. As Goku explains that you need 5 Saiyans of righteous hearts to give you their energy. While the original Saiyans that did to Yamoshi were not Super Saiyans, they were in base form. So what if they go into their highest form, as long as it's Super Saiyan related, not Mystic or their potential Unleashed forms, and they give it to Goku? Well, Super Saiyan 4 is good for Vegeta, even though it was a potential unlocked by Piccolo, but it's still a Super Saiyan transformation. So Vegeta would let Goku take this one, as Vegeta still has a little bit of a griping fear of Beerus, but so Goku would instantly jump in. So they were all in their max forms. You would have Goten, Trunks, Gohan's in Super Saiyan 2, Goten, Trunks in Super Saiyan. Then, of course, you would have Pan and Videl. Videl was still pregnant with Pan, so that's all good to go. And yeah, then you have Vegeta as well. So Vegeta was also in Super Saiyan 4 because Goku believes that the higher Super Saiyan form that you're in, the stronger it can be. Now, I know that's not confirmed. It's not in the canon version. But if you think about it, the original Saiyans were only in base form, same with Yamoshi. So they were able to unlock Super Saiyan God, while Goku and his friends turned Super Saiyan, and he unlocked Super Saiyan God. As long as they're still in Super Saiyan, and it's a Super Saiyan transformation, why can't they just unlock it? You just need 5 righteous Saiyans to give their energy to them. So I believe that they could have gone up further. Now, would this have made the God Ki stronger? I think so, because they're giving him his energy. So Vegeta would have transformed into Super Saiyan 4, which is already massive, and they would have given Goku his energy while he's in a Super Saiyan 4 state. Goku would then begin transforming. Now, the God Ki would then mix around with the demonic energy and, of course, with the Super Saiyan 4 power. And it would make something very unique. When the energy dissipated, Goku was now a Super Saiyan 5. I know. Goku unlocking God Ki pushed the Super Saiyan 4 power past its limits. And mixing God Ki with Super Saiyan 4 creates Super Saiyan 5. Beerus was very interested in this power because it has God Ki and he can see it. Now, this could very well be possible for Super Saiyan 5. Since Super Saiyan 4 is canon, they could make him the far future Super Saiyan 5, which would be sick because it is plausible. Since Super Saiyan 5 is not canon anyway, same as Super Saiyan 4 used to be in GT. A really cool way to actually make Super Saiyan 5 is if I've seen some people state that if you mix it with Ultra Instinct, but I don't know how they would do that because that's his own form in itself and his own technique. But imagine if you mixed God Ki with Super Saiyan 4. That could make a hybrid and make Super Saiyan 5. That was my thought process for making Super Saiyan 5 be as realistic as possible, not just he just evolved the form. I like to think that Super Saiyan 4 is pretty much the pinnacle of how high you can go with Mortal Ki. Now, if you mixing God energy with it, you can make Super Saiyan 5. Now, we all want to know, how powerful is this version of Goku? Well, in terms of power scaling, he is way stronger than he was as an original Super Saiyan God. As remember, every one of the cast of all the 5 Saiyans are stronger than the original, except for Videl. But Goku here is way stronger. He's in Super Saiyan 4. And you're mixing God form on top of that. Yeah, Goku's busted. Very powerful. Now, in terms of power scaling, I would say that he's roughly the same strength that he was when he fought Jiren in Ultra Instinct for the first time, which is very powerful. And that's already stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta and Kaioken times 20 Goku, and he's dabbling in the realms of the God of Destruction. In terms of the anime and the manga, he's not even close yet. But in terms of the anime, yes. So Beerus is very interested, and he could give Beerus a pretty good fight. I still think that Beerus is still stronger than him, and Goku doesn't have experience with God Ki yet, but we're going to jump into that. So, Goku would do his match with Beerus, and it was very intense. Goku would handle himself much better against Beerus. Now, in terms of power percentages and scaling and all that, we don't know, but Beerus was pretty impressed, as he wasn't in awe and shock that Goku surpassed him in the anime. Even when he went a second time into Ultra Instinct, the second time when he went into Ultra Instinct, Beerus was impressed. He was cracking his knuckles, and he really wanted to fight that version of Goku. So I think that Beerus probably could beat Goku, but I think it'll be a really tough battle, as Jiren was comparable to a God of Destruction. So Goku here is comparable to Beerus, to a degree. So when Goku and Beerus' fight would then go down, these two are insanely powerful. Now Goku's fight would be kind of similar, but Beerus is still going all out. This time around, Beerus does use 100% of his power, and Goku is getting overwhelmed, but he's still hanging in there. Goku is still getting used to the power, and before the fight could really get intense, he would then revert back to Super Saiyan 4. Beerus was not very happy, because right when the fight was getting really good, and Goku was able to land some solid hits on Beerus, making him bleed and giving him some battle damage, the fight ended. Goku lost the God power. But he did keep the essence of it, thus making his Super Saiyan 4 state a lot stronger, so Goku's not going to give up, or else Beerus will destroy the world. So Goku will continue pushing, attacking Beerus, and he would be able to kind of hold his own against Beerus a little bit longer. Beerus would then still fire a massive Hakai Ball right at Goku. Goku does not move this Hakai Ball out of the way. He'll be destroyed alongside with the whole planet Earth. So Goku was using everything in his strength to hold this Hakai Ball back. Now some people might ask, well, wouldn't Hakai kill him? Well, in the Dragon Ball lore, if you are relative to the God of Destruction's strength, you are able to hold back the Hakai power. We saw this when Vegeta was able to do it against Toppo. As Vegeta was comparative to Toppo in strength, he was actually able to hold back the Hakai. We also saw Goku survive being in a Hakai Ball, and Frieza in his golden form, even though it was a small amount, was able to negate the attack and control it and get rid of it. So yes, it is possible. If you are strong enough, you will be able to survive a Hakai attack. It still does severe damage to your body. Now, if you are way weaker, then the Hakai Ball will destroy you entirely. Well, Goku was struggling to hold the Hakai Ball back, and Beerus would then smirk at Goku until Goku would then almost fall unconscious. He would then see his family, his friends, telling Goku, begging for him to keep going. Goku would then burst back into Super Saiyan 5 one last time, destroying the Hakai Ball, but Goku was now in base form as he used up all of his energy. Beerus was surprised and he wondered what that power was. Goku honestly has no idea. And Beerus was very, very impressed. And he tells Goku that power like that, I knew you'd be my rival. And out of all the people I fought, you're my strongest foe. Beerus would not put Goku in second because of Monaka, because Goku's almost comparable to him. So Beerus is going to give him that respect. And Goku was very, very, very happy that he was able to push Beerus this far. And he unlocked a new realm of power. He was a bit unfortunate that he couldn't unlock it on his own, but he was happy that he was able to push Beerus this far. Now, Goku would then go unconscious, but Beerus would then help him bring him back down. Now, Goku would have been healed, and everything would have been fine. Now, Beerus, I think, would have still taken some Earth delicacies, but he was more than satisfied. He did use up a lot of energy in their fight. Remember, he's been sleeping for a long time, and he's kind of worn out. He's a little rusty. You know, he hasn't really had a fight like that in a long time, in millions of years. So he's going to go back to his planet now and go take a fat nap because he's tired. He does offer Goku to come along if he wishes to continue training, as he thinks that Goku could be a perfect rival for him. And the next time they fight, Beerus wants to go all out. He wants Goku to control this new Super Saiyan form. Now, they do call it Super Saiyan God, but I think since it looks comparative to Super Saiyan 4, Goku and them, we're just going to say we're going to call it Super Saiyan 5, just to make it more simple. Vegeta wants to come along, of course, as he wants that power too. So, I think Goku and Vegeta would then leave early, and they would then leave with Beerus and Whis, heading towards the planet. So peace was finally restored. Now, they would of course go back and forth to the planet, as of course they need to get a lot of Earth delicacies, as per Bulma's wish, as she was trying to win Whis over so Whis would protect him in case Beerus blows up the planet. And so yeah, they're eating very good. Another thing as well is they would have a couple more months to train, as Vegeta was already training there for a few months. This would mean though that Goku is more ahead than Vegeta, as Vegeta needed those few months to train solely just with Whis, just to catch up to Goku, who was already way stronger because he absorbed some of that God's power, and his base form was comparative to that. Well, since Goku and Vegeta went at the same time, doing the chores, changing Beerus' sheets, and also giving him tuna, and also cutting grass, Goku's way stronger than Vegeta. Now, I think Vegeta would start to catch up a little bit, but nah, Goku's too far ahead. Now, when Goku and Vegeta do learn God Ki and how to access it, Vegeta is struggling to access Super Saiyan 5. The reason for that is because Goku did it the right way. Vegeta's trying to manually blend the two, not doing it the ritual way, which is making it very difficult for Vegeta to unlock it. And he comes to find out that he can't do it. You need to do it the ritual way to blend the energies together. That was the only way to unlock Super Saiyan 5. Now, Vegeta does unlock a new power. He unlocks Super Saiyan God, and pushing his training even further, as Goku and Vegeta now go down different paths. Goku does know about Super Saiyan God. He can access it if he wants to. So he can go Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan 4, or he can mix the two together and go Super Saiyan 5. Vegeta would then search for his own power. And I think Whis would then separate the two in terms of their training paths, as he would help Goku learn how to manage the Super Saiyan 5 power, as this is Beerus' request. While as for Vegeta, Vegeta would then go down the blue path as he would unlock Super Saiyan Blue and push his power even further later on. So, in terms of power levels, Goku is still way stronger than Vegeta, but Vegeta is a lot more powerful since then. Now, another thing is, what about Frieza? Well, if Golden Frieza did come back and he trained for a couple of months, unfortunately it would not go very good for Frieza, as even the characters, you got Piccolo, Gohan, and the others, you even got Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, who have all unlocked their potential Unleashed forms, mind you, and they're still training. When Yamcha unlocked his new power, he did not follow a baseball career. He's still working on this power, as he's kind of doing what Tien's doing. He's exploring the world, and he is teaching students as well, so Yamcha has a better path. So when Frieza does show up, the Earthlings have their time to shine, because holy god, they are ridiculous. When they unlock their potential Unleashed forms, they would be able to fight Frieza head on. And the three of them would actually team up and fight Final Form Frieza. Now, in terms of Golden Frieza, that's where they would have a bit of a problem because Frieza's stronger than they are. But because of their Earthling abilities and they work so well together, if they all teamed up, on top of having Orange Piccolo jump in that match too, Orange Piccolo's no joke either, and having a Mystic Gohan, or potential Unleashed Gohan if you want, who has kept his training up, is ridiculous. Yeah, Frieza would get overwhelmed, since they're not like the average Goku and Vegeta who just fight Frieza by themselves. They will all gang up on Frieza, and they all fight very well in unison, because they're a great team up. So imagine if you had a potential Unleashed, a custom forms, Krillin, Tien, Yamcha, Gohan, and Piccolo, and you could even throw Gotenks in there if you want, but that's not going to happen. If they all jumped in on Frieza, even in his golden state, I think they would be able to manage. But I think the strongest person would definitely be Orange Piccolo, and I think Gohan would be right up next to him. I think Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien are a little bit weaker than them. Now, in terms of power scaling, these beings are stronger than Vegito by this point easily. And I would say they're about half the strength of a Super Saiyan God Goku originally. So if they all teamed up, they would actually hold their own okay against Frieza. Now imagine adding Gohan, who's stronger, and Piccolo, who's stronger than that. So yeah, if all five of them gang up on Frieza, they would be able to hold their own. Now, Frieza was struggling because his stamina problem. Now when Goku and Vegeta do step in, they would not initially jump in to fight Frieza first, as they want the Earthlings and Gohan and Piccolo to defend the Earth, especially Gohan, in case Goku's not around, or Saiyan, etc. Vegeta. So they would see that Frieza was starting to struggle because in this golden form, although he's way more powerful than them, remember too, Piccolo's a master tactician, he notes to Gohan and the others that Frieza is starting to lose his power slowly. They're starting to have a better chance. Now, mind you though, they are incredibly injured and very tired themselves, so I think Frieza would maybe still get the upper hand on him initially because of how tired they were. And I think this is when Goku and Vegeta could step in. But we're not going to do that this time. We're going to give the Earthlings and Gohan and Piccolo a time to shine. This is when Goku and Vegeta would not step in, as then Yamcha was killed. I know, hold on, hear me out. The reason why is because Frieza still was way more powerful than all of them, but he was getting tired and he was getting desperate. He would then kill the most powerful opponent, who was Piccolo. So Yamcha would then jump in, taking a death beam to the chest, and he would then fall over. And then this is when Frieza would, as this is right before Goku and Vegeta would then step in to go stop. Remember, Goku can just whisk Yamcha back. It's okay, everybody. But Yamcha was a hero because not only did he fight a Golden Frieza, he also saved Piccolo's life. That's respectable. This is when I think Gohan would then see it, and he feels like he failed, as now Piccolo is going to be next. And Frieza would torture Piccolo. He would fire a death beam into his leg, his arm, kind of like what he did on Namek when he was in his third form. Gohan would snap. Gohan would then push his power to a new level. He would unlock Beast Gohan. Now, I know that his potential Unleashed form is different than Mystic, and that's what people kind of compare the Beast form to Mystic. But in reality, the Beast form and Mystic are a little bit different. Gohan unlocked this form training more like a human, and that's the reason why he unlocked it. Meaning that it could be possible for other humans to get it, wink wink, but Gohan would then unlock the Beast form. And with this power, Goku and Vegeta were shocked. Even Beerus and Whis were very impressed by Gohan's power. Gohan's ridiculously strong by this point. Holy God. As a beast, in his beast form, he is comparable to, I would say, I would definitely say probably in the Tournament of Power level of strength, which is ridiculous, as makes sense. Beast form is an extremely powerful transformation. Gohan could go from Super Saiyan Blue level to being able to actually overpower a UI Goku. Not MUI, of course, he kind of mixed up Gohan, but still. And he was able to fight a Super Saiyan Broly pretty well, but their fight couldn't really get too deep since their fight had to be stopped. But yeah, Gohan's in that realm of power now. He's comparable to those guys. That goes to show you how strong Gohan has gotten. Gohan in this new form would absolutely mollywop Frieza around the sky. Frieza would get annihilated. Any attack that Frieza threw with punches and kicks and death beams, Frieza would even try blowing up the planet out of desperation. As you know, that's typical Frieza fashion. Gohan wouldn't have let it happen. Now, this is if the Frieza saga even happened. As if you guys have kept up this far, Goku has the Dragon Balls. So how would Frieza be able to be brought back to life? Now, one way that Frieza could be brought back to life is if they do use the other Dragon Balls that was used in the Granola Arc. That's the only way that Frieza would be brought back to life. Another way is if someone who is living gives their soul up to Frieza. That's the only way that the Frieza arc could happen. Now, I was wondering if you guys would keep up this far for the Frieza arc. But yes, the Frieza arc technically would not happen since Frieza doesn't have the Dragon Balls. How would he be wished back? But you could argue and say that they do use the Dragon Balls from the Granola arc, and they use those to wish him back. Or you could say that they also go to Namek, and they force the Namekians to release the code. Could be possible. So that could also argue you how Frieza was able to be brought back to life to make this arc happen. But I just wanted to jump down this arc just for fun, just to show you how the Frieza arc would have gone if he would have been brought back to life. But you could argue and say in the comments down below that Frieza did because of the Dragon Balls. So I'm going to go down the Dragon Ball arc, and I'm going to say that Frieza was brought back with some of the Dragon Balls that were used from the Granola arc. As there has been shown, there are multiple Dragon Balls around the universe. So that's how Frieza was brought back. They just found them. So that could say how you asked for Frieza coming back. Well, Frieza would have been killed by Beast Gohan either way, or Frieza would have been killed by Goku and Vegeta even if he was brought back with other sets of Dragon Balls. And the arc could not have even happened potentially, so Gohan may not even unlock Beast. But we're going to say that Frieza was unlocked using another pair of Dragon Balls across the universe, the ones used from the Granola arc, so Frieza is brought back. Unfortunately for Frieza, he was special beam cannon by Gohan, and he's dead, so he's not coming back. Now Goku would just wish Yamcha back to life, and everything's good to go. And no one was really killed, except for all the Frieza soldiers, but that's about it. So yeah, peace was finally brought back to the universe. Now, as for the Universe 6 and 7 arc, which would definitely happen, it would be a landslide. Because Beerus is way too confident, and he would explain that my warriors from Universe 7 would absolutely annihilate yours. Choppa doesn't believe so, as he's a cocky, arrogant jerk. He thinks that his Universe 6 is most powerful. Well, when they do set up their matchup, the fights would kind of go similar. I believe that Goku would first fight Batamo, knock him out of the ring, and he would fight Frost. Now, Goku would still go Super Saiyan like he did before, beat up Frost. I think he would still be poisoned, knocked out of the ring. Frost would be disqualified once when Piccolo fights him. And you could say here that Piccolo could go into his potential Unleashed state and just one-shot Frost out of the ring. I do think that would be possible, because remember, they don't think that Frost is a fraud just yet. And I think that Frost will still hit Piccolo with the poison if Piccolo wraps his arm around him in his potential Unleashed state, ready to throw him out of the ring. I think what happened here is then Jaka would then see that, of course, he's cheating. So Frost was disqualified, but Vegeta states, no, I'll fight him. Piccolo's going to disqualify himself, isn't he? Piccolo states, yeah, I'll do that, because Vegeta has beef. Vegeta could not get his hands on Frieza, so Frost is close enough. He would one-shot Frost out of the ring, defeat him easily, and Goku was also brought back. Now, Vegeta's turn, though, was first, so he would still fight Kaba just like before, and Vegeta. Now, he would have defeated Vegeta as Super Saiyan, of course, just like before. He would have also defeated Kaba as well by helping Kaba still turn Super Saiyan. Now it's Hit's turn. No, Vegeta does not have Blue Evolution. He's still not learning that power just yet. But when he goes into Super Saiyan Blue, he made a fatal mistake. When he showed Kaba Super Saiyan Blue before. People don't know this, and some people do, but Super Saiyan Blue is a very powerful transformation, obviously. The one bad side of Super Saiyan Blue is the stamina usage. It's really bad. So when you actually transform in and out of the form, at least one time or more, you will only use 1/3 of the actual strength of Super Saiyan Blue. Whis and Vados have even stated this, mainly Whis. And so this is why when Vegeta fought Hit, he was completely outclassed. But Goku was able to survive more hits from Hit because of how stronger Goku was. Vegeta was already tired. He already fought through Vegeta, Kaba, he even turned Super Saiyan Blue off and on. So yeah, Hit was just overpowering Vegeta, and Vegeta was not ready for Hit's technique. He's never seen it. So yeah, Vegeta would get defeated just like before. I think it'll be a little bit more struggle for Hit to knock him out because Vegeta's stronger. He's been fighting a stronger version of Goku. But I think he would still do pretty well. I wouldn't say he would land a hit, but he would be really close. Now, you could say that when he did lean in for that gut punch against Hit, he might still hit him, but Hit would still hit Vegeta with a powerful attack, and Vegeta would have been knocked out. The fight would have been a little bit better, but I think Vegeta would still lose. Now, with Goku, though, he saw how Hit fights, and he knows how that technique works. So when he goes down, he would fight Hit in base form first. Then he would turn into a Super Saiyan God. And you could even say he turns Super Saiyan 4 next, then God, which is stronger. And then Beerus would then tell Goku to stop holding back and show me real power. Goku would say fine, and Goku would then go into his Super Saiyan 5 state. This would then shock everybody, as Goku's gotten way stronger since then. As now he's comparative to his second or third time he went Ultra Instinct against Jiren. He's way stronger. Goku here would absolutely dominate Hit in their match. I think Hit would still try hitting him a few times with his time skip abilities, and Goku was still learning it, but it wasn't really doing any damage to Goku. Even in his vital points, it wasn't really damaging him that much. Once when Goku figures it out, he was way too fast for Hit, and he would have annihilated him. Punches and kicks would have knocked him out of the ring. Even a single strike, I think, would have knocked him out of the ring. A perfect punch to the stomach, Hit would have been knocked out like how Manaka punched him. Just a bit less impactful. Now, the Hit was knocked out of the ring, though. Beerus was now the winner, but he would still use the Super Dragon Balls to wish Champa's Earth back. I honestly don't know why if Goku has the Dragon Balls, why doesn't he just wish Champa's Earth back as well? Pretty unique wish. But anyway, Beerus would still use Super Dragon Balls to do so. Now, this is when Zeno would still appear, Goku would still befriend Zeno, and they would then become best friends. Now, mind you, of course, though, remember too, Goku was excited and he wanted to do another tournament, obviously, because it's Goku we're all talking about here. And Zeno was 100% down to do this. So, they would be down to do another tournament. So, but that's later on. Now, what about the Goku Black Arc? Now, I know that some people get irritated with me when they want me to mix a custom Goku Black in there. It's like, let's say Goku Black takes the body of this version of Goku. I've never really seen that making sense. And this is not because I don't like Goku Black. If it's a cool story, I'll do it. But it doesn't realistically make sense. Because there's only one version of this Goku. So if Goku Black takes that body, then that version of Goku would be non-existent. He would just turn into Zamasu's body and then he would have been killed. So Goku Black, remember the timelines are very confusing, but Goku Black took a version of Goku's body, not the main continuity of Goku. There's only one what-if string timeline that's disconnected from the others. There's the main continuity. There is a branch that goes off, that is Trunks' timeline. There's the other branch that's a copy of that timeline because Venom destroyed Trunks', so they found a copy. Then there's the branch that's on the other side that is my custom what-if timeline. So if Goku Black took Goku's body from that only one string what-if timeline, then Goku would be non-existent. So there wouldn't be a Goku to continue the what-if arc. Goku Black would have won. So Goku Black would take one of the timelines of Goku from the other one. So it's still the original Goku Black and Evil Zamasu. Now, one thing though, Goku would still beat Zamasu in their little matchup. That would have happened the same. Jumping back a little bit, Trunks would have still survived and made it to this what if timeline like he did before, since he has the same coordinates like before. He did not go to the main continuity timeline, he went to this one. Now, mind you, of course, Trunks would then try to hit Goku, but then they would kind of get over it. Goku would then show Trunks Super Saiyan 4, and Trunks thinks that you're definitely strong enough to beat Goku Black. Speak of the devil, Goku Black appears shortly afterwards. Goku and Goku Black would have a little battle. Goku's in Super Saiyan 2, and Goku's, him and Goku Black are going at it, but they're about dead even. The fight couldn't really continue because Goku Black was forced back into that future timeline. Now, when Goku, Trunks, and Vegeta, when they all go to that future timeline, if you remember originally, Vegeta got arrogant and he went blue, but the problem is Goku Black stabbed them with the sword because they weren't ready for it. And true, if Goku Black did unlock Rose and Vegeta was mortally wounded, Goku can use the Dragon Balls. Remember, he still has it, so he would then use the Dragon Balls to instantly heal Vegeta. This is when Goku does have one more wish, but save it for later in case they need it. So Goku would initially go up to fight Goku Black, and he would probably go Super Saiyan 4, then go Super Saiyan God against Rose Black, and he is comparable to him. When he goes Super Saiyan 5, he's way stronger than Goku Black. I still think that Zamasu would still appear just like before, and he is immortal by the Dragon Balls. They know that they're in some trouble because Zamasu can just keep coming at them. But worry about that later. Goku Black and Zamasu see that they are severely outclassed, so they would fuse into Merge Zamasu. Now Goku knows that he needs as much help as possible, so he would then put his hand on Trunks, and he would use his last wish. I know it might seem silly, but Goku's not the smartest guy. He would then use his last wish, and he would then unlock Trunks' pool of potential. Trunks would then begin powering up into this new state that he's in, and the form for Trunks, I would genuinely say, is, I think we all know what it's about to be. Trunks would then grow a tail, and Trunks would then unlock Super Saiyan 4. I know, but this is because when you unlock the potential of a Saiyan with Shenron's magic, aka Demon Realm magic, well then that means that, well, you unlock Super Saiyan 4, apparently. And Trunks, I think, is definitely strong enough to definitely unlock it. Goku stated that he could, he just couldn't get past that wall. But Trunks is definitely strong enough, and he has so much inner potential. Same with Vegeta. I think that father like son, he would be able to unlock it. And I know that he's also a half Saiyan as well. Some people might argue and say, well, what about Gohan? Why didn't Gohan get Super Saiyan 4? Well, it's because Gohan is different. And also, too, he's not even remotely close to as strong as Trunks is. And Trunks also has way more potential built up within his body. Gohan's been training, and that's why Gohan sort of unlocked more of a potential unleashed form. So Trunks, and also plot induced, Trunks would then unlock Super Saiyan 4, and he would look really cool. His fur was a little bit more purple, was a bit more bluish in color, but it was super cool, and Trunks was ready to go. Now, how powerful is this version of Trunks? He is stronger than he was when he was in his Super Saiyan Rage form, a lot more powerful, so he is able to keep up. Now, Super Saiyan Rage Trunks was comparable to like a Super Saiyan God Goku. He was a little bit weaker than Blue. This version of Super Saiyan 4, he's actually caught up to Vegeta, and he's actually able to keep up with Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and more. So, Trunks with Vegeta would then try and attack Merge Zamasu, but it wouldn't work. Merge Zamasu is too strong. This is when Goku would then go full power, and he would then fly in, attacking Zamasu. The fight was pretty intense, as Zamasu was very powerful, but against Goku, yeah, Zamasu's in some trouble. Because Goku, I believe, is still superior to Zamasu. He would then overpower him, and Zamasu was beginning to mutate and grow larger in size. This is when Trunks was then building up all the energy within his sword, just like before, getting all the energy, so basically making a Spirit Bomb sword, as he somehow learned it, while Goku was beating the heck out of Merge Zamasu. But the problem was Merge Zamasu's half immortal, so he just is continuing to grow stronger. Trunks was able to then slice Merge Zamasu in half and completely destroy his entire body. One downside, Zamasu would then surround the whole universe. Goku would still use the Zeno button, the scenes would then go the same, they would then send Trunks to a copy timeline, and everything was back to normal. They would have then went back, and things would have been peaceful. So it would have been a lot less turmoil. Sadly, there was no fusion, as Goku could have fused with Vegeta, but in reality, they don't need it. Super Saiyan 5 Goku. If Zamasu didn't have the immortality issue, Goku would have killed him and defeated him in their own match. Now, cutting past the Goku Black arc, we are now going to jump into the Tournament of Power. I know there's some small arcs like the Copy Vegeta arc, that's irrelevant, whatever. Well, as for the Tournament of Power, Beerus is very cocky. I mean, their team is stacked up. It's ridiculous. And even if Goku went to go get Frieza, I don't think they need him. As, holy moly, you have the Earthlings that are relative to blue level or God to blue level by this point. So you have Tien, Krillin, Yamcha that are relative to blue level because they're still training intensely, getting stronger in this form. Then you got Orange Piccolo, Beast Gohan, a Super Saiyan 5 Goku, who is already in the realm of his MUI state in terms of power because he's gotten stronger from the Zenkai that he got from Zamasu, and he's also training. Then you got Vegeta, who is Super Saiyan Blue, but we'll talk about him in a minute. He might have another form that we're talking about. And so on and so forth. So, and of course, you would have Android 18. android, 17. 17's the MVP. Apparently he's blue level, which I don't think so, but he's still the MVP. And you would have somebody like Master Roshi or somebody step up. Master Roshi's pretty powerful too. So they would have all the team that they need. They don't need anyone else. So Frieza would not be needed. So Frieza's still rotting in hell, so that would pretty much go the same. So now, since that was done though, it would be a landslide. And I was pausing for more impactfulness, but yeah, it'll be a landslide. Unfortunately, they would have no chance. The only person that will kind of give them fights is Toppo, Jiren. Maybe Anilaza and Super Saiyan 2 Kefla, but that's about it. I mean, Gohan would blitz through Super Saiyan 2 Kefla in his beast form. It would be laughable. I mean, literally no one can beat them. I mean, even Beast Gohan can fight Jiren and potentially beat him in their matchup. So, yeah, what in the hell is Universe 11 and them going to do? They realize that they're cooked, that there's no way that they're going to win. So, yeah, Universe 7 would annihilate the whole team. People, I would probably say that maybe you would have like Roshi be knocked out because, you know, he would do pretty well, you know, fighting off some people, but he's old, so he would be stepped out. And maybe you could say, you know, when they're all fighting Universe 7, it would be really cool if you had Krillin, you know, Tien or Yamcha fight Toppo or they could all team up and fight Anilaza. That would be really cool. And they do defeat Anilaza, but they are knocked out of the ring. And they did really well though. It's phenomenal, but against something like Anilaza is ridiculous. Gohan would have blitzed through Kefla. It would have been a landslide. And I think Vegeta would still push past Blue Evolution, which he would have already had the form. So yeah, Vegeta would still have Blue Evolution. He would have defeated Toppo. He was pretty wounded, and I think Gohan might, and I think Piccolo might even have a match against Hit, or Jiren could knock out Hits, whatever. But I think when Jiren first was told to go attack Goku because he's the most dangerous, Goku would just go Super Saiyan 5 and he would beat the heck out of Jiren because he's way stronger now. I think this would then push Jiren to his limit, making him go into Limit Breaker. And with Limit Breaker, of course, he would easily knock out, you know, everyone else in his way except Goku. As Goku is using the full power of Super Saiyan 5, he would be able to knock out Jiren. But I could even argue that they might knock out each other because it's a pretty close fight. Goku is comparative to MUI. But I think that Goku, with the help of the others, aka Gohan, and Orange Piccolo, who's gotten way more powerful too, they would all be able to team up and defeat Jiren. And now that he was defeated, they would just blitz through everybody else, and the Universe 7 would then win. It would be a landslide victory. Now, since Frieza was never brought back, Broly would never technically show up. The only way that Broly would show up is if Chi-Lai and Lemo do find Broly and Paragus. Paragus would then find out that there are Saiyans on Earth, and one of them is Vegeta, if he finds out some way. Because soldiers would talk about how Frieza went to Earth, and Vegeta and them was there, and he was defeated. Paragus could find out about it technically, and I think it'll be a pretty cool little interaction, but I think it would be a lot cooler if Chi-Lai, Lemo, Broly, and Paragus had their own story arc, to where they would travel around the universe, and I believe that Paragus would probably, I wouldn't say be backstabbed by Broly, but I think Broly would then turn on Paragus, because Paragus is trying to control him. I think that Chi-Lai and Lemo would become his best friends, and Broly would realize that what Paragus is controlling him. Broly would break the collar, and I think Paragus would then try to hurt Broly's friends. Remember, he would do a lot of things to try and control Broly. And I think Broly would then make the sacrifice of getting rid of his father. And I know that's a crazy story, but if you think about it, if it's a whole build-up storyline of that happening, Broly has now broken the shackles of his father. His father was just using him and trying to treat him like a slave. It's not right. And even if Paragus did live, Broly would just leave him on planet Vappa. And then you could even have Paragus die against Ba, and Ba could eat him, whatever. And now Broly, Chi-Lai, and Lemo, they would then travel around the universe, and they would just do their own thing, you know, scavenging, maybe even becoming bounty hunters, because they got Broly. He can one-shot everybody. And it would be cool if they still land on Earth, though, and they still meet Goku and the others, and Broly would then fight Goku or Vegeta. So it would be under different circumstances. They would not be searching for the Dragon Balls, and etc. So Frieza can wish himself to be like a meter taller. Well, then you would have Broly fighting Goku. Broly would not lose control as badly, since he is fighting more people, and with Chi-Lai and Lemo there, he is a bit more calm. he could go Akari, but I think Goku would easily defeat Broly. But he would then offer to train Broly and bring Chi and Lemma along. So they would then all go to Beerus' world to help Broly control this inner power and for Broly to become even stronger, as Broly has so much inner potential. Now, past the Broly movie, what about the Moro Arc and the superhero movie and Granola? Well, in terms of the Moro Arc, Moro was still very dangerous. As remember here, Goku, you could say he might start to learn Ultra Instinct, but I want to stick with the more primal path for Goku. And as for Vegeta, remember too, the cast is so much more powerful. I think that Goku would have still defeated Moro, and Moro would have still been defeated. With the help of Beerus training Goku, Goku could even learn how to use Ultra Instinct in his base form, or you could say that his class is a technique, that he could use it in Super Saiyan 5 if he wanted to make him more broken. And he would, in the end result, they would have defeated Moro. Moro would not have a chance. The cast is just too strong. Goku's way too strong. He's already stronger than he is as MUI, or perfected UI, in a Super Saiyan 5 state. So, yeah, Moro would have been defeated. Now, since Moro's defeated, though, what about the Granola Arc? Well, Granola Arc wouldn't happen because he's not searching for revenge to beat Frieza. If he is still searching for revenge to beat the Saiyans, it wouldn't go well for him, because while true, he might be stronger than Goku in them initially when they fight, Vegeta would have Ultra Ego by this point. He would be able to catch up to Goku pretty well now, but Goku's still superior to him. He would start aging very rapidly, similar to how Gas did. And if Gas tried making the same wish, he would just die faster too, because he's even stronger than that. So the Heaters would have been defeated. Now you could also do one thing as well. Goku now has 3 wishes because he's trained the Dragon Magic to be even stronger. Goku can just wish for them to lose the wish, making them the most powerful being in the universe. He can just reverse the wish, as his Dragon Ball magic is way superior to that one. And now people are talking about Dragon Ball Daima. The events of Dragon Ball Daima, they were all reverted to kids, and you would have the new King of the Demon Realm, as he would have the third eye and become very powerful. Goku already has Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan 5. Now, if you do say Super Saiyan 5, which I know that Daima's technically placed before Battle of the Gods, so if he doesn't have Super Saiyan 5, even as a Super Saiyan 4, and Vegeta has Super Saiyan 4, they would easily defeat him. They would easily defeat Goma. And they could also do the fusion and wipe him out pretty quickly. And Bulma can also threaten to never take a bath with Vegeta again, and he would unlock a new power and probably beat him anyway. So yeah, Daima would pretty much go a lot faster because of how much stronger the cast is. They already have Super Saiyan 4. Now imagine Goku and Vegeta teaming up using Super Saiyan 4. Yeah, Goma's cooked. There's no way they'll be able to beat, there's no way he'd be able to beat them. Now cutting back forward though, as for the Granola Arc, that would have already been over. What about the Black Frieza Arc? Black Frieza Arc would never happen since Frieza was never wished back to life. Also to mind you as well, for the superhero movie, I think it was to kind of go a little similar with them trying to kidnap Pan, and Cell Max would still be released. The Gammas would have been beaten pretty fast, but they would have spared them since it was a misunderstanding. Now, Cell Max, if he was still released, Gohan and Piccolo are stronger, and they already have their max forms. Orange Piccolo and Beast form. Gohan would just Special Beam Cannon Cell, and he would have killed him, since Gohan's still just as powerful, if not stronger. So yeah, Cell Max would have then lost. And that is it for this series, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think down below about the series, as I had a ton of fun making it. And if you guys have made it this far, I know I talked about it before, but I do have a new goal on top of the YouTube channel. As a YouTube channel, I want to break 50,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Also, if you made it this far, do hashtag DragonForce in the comments below. If you guys also do have Discord, I know some people on mobile struggle because they cannot click on the link, but if you guys do have Discord, check out the link down below, or it's on the beginning of the screen there. At the beginning of the video, you guys can type in it manually to check out my Discord. My new goal for Discord, as currently in my Discord officially, we have over 154 members. Adding in the bots is 161. But I'm trying to get the rest of those 40 plus members, and I want to break 200 members on Discord. It's been growing rapidly. It's only been about 8 to 9 days since I started advertising the server more, and we have gotten over 80 to 90 people in that short span of time. So if you guys want to go support me and get behind the scenes stuff as well, as actually a couple days ago, some people can attest to this, I actually did a normal voice chat call where I showed people how to make what if videos, how to make thumbnails, and how to write scripts. So if you guys are looking at wanting to become a content creator and you guys want personal tips from me and ask me, then you guys can come join the Discord. We can chat, we can talk, and you can meet tons of other content creators as well. And you can also promote your YouTube channel and videos freely. That would help out your channel and boost it even further. So if you guys want to check that out, check out the Discord down below in the description or in the beginning of the video, and you guys will be involved in the Dragon Force community. Thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Let's get to 50,000 subscribers, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Peace.